Hi, live stream.
We are officially on the internet now.
Are we on the
Hi,
internet?
Mom. I mean,
Wait,
Twitch
does this
is
count
the
being on the
right?
internet?
Echo!
Do I get to do the Wreck-It Ralph thing and just make a horrible movie onto the internet?
Yes.
Or do I get to be like the emoji movie and make it worse?
Yes.
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 You know, I'm partially entertained from the audio quality making it sound like we're actually in a room.
Really?
Perfect. I mean, aren't we in a room, Hituni? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, we're physically in a room together.
Yeah.
Like family.
Like one big happy family that gets cut down by a bunch of shit that the DMs throw at us.
Hoorah!
Hoorah, die for the Emperor. It won't be hard.
Remember when we were born to die for the Emperor? That was really cool.
Look, guys, I can do infinite screen. Infinite screen. Infinite screen.
No, don't do it.
I'm taking psychic damage.
It's staring unprotected into the warp.
Achilles, quickly listen to the
They're
.wave
unprotected to the
file I
wall.
sent you. You like this.
In contrast to
Stop
what
web,
techniques
actually.
warp. Hi, Jackal.
Whatever.
Do you think the Imperium of Man has protection?
Oh, what do you mean?
And it's like, the Emperor protects brand.
What?
It probably does.
I don't know.
I still don't understand the question.
That's okay.
You don't need to under.
He's a
You don't
space
need to
brain, it doesn't
understand.
apply.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
You play a space marine, you don't get to use your parts.
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? I'm gonna look back in the stream.
Putting gene seed into a human, you say?
Ooh. Hey, Vargan. We have a subject. Uh-oh.
We don't need that image.
I don't need it either.
Ram it straight up his...
I mean, putting genes into a
See,
human
no.
is basically
Underwear.
cutting a hole in the back of the spine, isn't it?
I don't know
Isn't that how the
how it's done.
lore works?
Probably.
Heck,
I'm sure somebody in the stream will correct me.
Fairly
What?
sure the actual process
gene
takes
seed,
a very long
how does it
time.
work? How do you imply it?
I thought it was
Yes.
somewhere in the
Look at
neck.
You're asking a tech priest?
Yes.
I mean, to be honest, you read a shit ton
Mr.
of
Tech
lore,
Priest,
so...
how do sex
You could
work?
be a biologist.
Mr.
I'm no
Tech
robot
Priest,
religion.
how do
I'd rather
space
not get into
marines
that
are
sort of
made?
thing.
Tech Priest, where do microwaves come from?
Tech Priest, to have a microwave, you want it?
Hey,
Oh,
Tech
boy.
Priest, my bolt pistol keeps jamming. What do I do?
Tiger, I just fixed it!
Imagine a Tech
The
Priest
machine
with sexual
spirit is
education.
angry.
A battery and electricity love each other very much.
The calibrator is also off by 0.002 seconds.
Like, I fire it so
Oh,
little
geez,
that the
seriously?
machine spirit gets
Oh my
angry
god.
in the
Can I
second
wait for a
do
bit?
so.
I'm in the middle of some calibrations.
Calibration.
Okay.
Did he really
you
just
Gary
inject
Carey?
a fucking Mass
I
Effect
was
meme
gonna-
in a
I'm
fucking
gonna leave this
Warhammer?
bolt pistol here.
Tiger,
Congratulations,
change
you
your
have a broken
fucking avatar.
Oh, right.
The Emperor of God.
Tech, that was well timed.
God.
That was what?
That was great. That was great. Nice way to start the stream, right?
Oh God, I hate everybody. I hate all of you. Just disdain. Complete disdain.
It's okay,
This
Achilles.
is enough by stream. You had a good time. I hope you enjoyed this stream. And
That's about just as
and-
much entertainment as you're gonna get all game.
God.
unfortunately, yes.
I hate
Because boy oh
everybody.
boy, it's fun to play. It's boring to watch.
He has a stream challenge.
Nah, I'm
Remain
sure
a
it's
character
great to
for the whole
watch.
campaign.
Who, me?
And that's how Tiger died.
I'm always scared. Wait! Hey, I don't need a bolt
Everybody's
pistol,
picking on me. Everybody hates me.
Everybody's picking on me.
You
Okay.
know what? They won't laugh
I'm
when
just
I
a
give
little
them
boy.
fearless. Maybe they will laugh. I don't know.
All right,
Here's
I
the
believe
thing,
this is
if you ever
everybody who's going to be here. So let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Speaking
Okay, so
of
I'm
being
guessing-
here,
Hi, fucking stream.
hello, stream.
No, treat your community viewers nicely.
Excuse me.
Oh,
Yes.
not this again.
Not this shit.
And
You're all
that's what woke up Leroy.
Of course.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, Lira will one way or another and make it end up like that way.
Bang boss. Bang shit.
Moving on.
So
Anyway.
Leroy meets Jeff. So that's why.
Okay. Continuing.
Moving on.
Moving on.
How do you change
So,
your avatar?
does anybody remember what happened last time?
Yes.
We.
For intro,
somebody
we met
I
people
ricocheted.
rolled
and then
one.
we tried to
We
shoot.
drop pod it to the
Everything.
planet.
Half of them died.
On the
Leroy is
inside
the
or
only one
outside?
that's correct. Please re-roll for characters.
Oh.
Reroll. Oh no.
Can
Yeah,
we
you'll
get
have to roll a d2 and see if you lived or died.
1 is lived, 2 is died, 3
That is
is
absolutely
died.
correct, Don Hughes. Anyway, so part of you were correct. We got introduced. Basically, you all got introduced to each other and learned, what your task was. The Primarch Achilles to Hellenica went ahead and gave you guys your mission. And
Training.
you finally, by the end of the stream, somehow magically began movement to your actual mission.
Yeah.
Yay. Does anybody remember what that mission was?
Kill heretics.
Yep.
We're
Get
going to a
planet
high
side,
city.
establish it, whether or not we got, full heresy or whatever. We're basically just the vanguard force to pave the way for the main body.
I think we're rooting out heresy in the capital.
More or less. Alrighty. So,
Big gun is ready.
yeah.
Oh,
So we
we're
did.
ready.
You guys did manage to partake in a small melee session. A small
Rip Tiger.
melee session.
Rip Tiger.
If I re-rolled that damage with Fate, I would have killed it.
That's
Also-
probably true.
I didn't even have like all the stuff necessary. It should have been a plus 18 damage, so and I got
That's
like
true.
plus 11.
Hituni did notice that earlier in the week.
So I think I should get credited for that kill.
Nah.
What happened?
You pulled your
Bookending
punches.
There you go.
You pulled your punches.
Didn't want to make them too what's it called?
it.
Too easy.
No.
Want to
yeah,
have
like,
cards on your
too
sleeves.
intimidated. There we go. They're like, oh look, he didn't even one shot it, just pulling punches. We're like, yes. It's like, yes.
Clearly what's going on.
Not even that strong. You should not be intimidated. Yes.
Ah,
And when we
yes.
actually
This-
kill
this is all
heretics, I'll
my-
beat them to death.
So let's see what bullshit dice rolling we're going to get this time.
Oh, we're all gonna roll hundreds every single time. Just you win.
I'm waiting for it.
Go,
I'm actually
Jason.
waiting for it.
All right. So we'll take off. We'll pick up just before you guys were going to go to the hangar bay to board your vessel that would take you down to the planet.
Oh boy.
The setting starts as the Emperor's Endowment, flagship of the Orbita Crusade, and flagship of the Myrmidon Legionnaire Legio of Astartes. Making translation into real space from its warp expedition. All of you feel the violent judder as the ship is basically ripped from one universe and transported directly to the next. For many of you, actually, you know what? We'll go ahead and do our first roll of the night. Can I have all of you do a perception check, please?
Percentile, you said?
Percentage.
Perception check,
Perception.
please.
Perception, my mistake.
Oh.
And 3, 2, 1.
We are doing fucking fantastic tonight.
I think this has set
Let's just get the bad rolls all the way.
Exactly.
Let's hope that's out of the way.
Hold on, I'm curious. Who has the best perception? What is the
I-
with perception? That's my
I have
question.
25 here.
50.
Anything me right now.
Okay, 50. Okay, so apparently only
All right. So all of you, while in the deep of your sleep, basically dream that an earthquake just completely overtakes you. As the ship is, as unbeknownst to you, the ship has just came out of warp, or out of the warp. Hatuni, you are violently awoken
User joined
by
your channel. User
the
left your channel.
creaking of,
User joined
heavy
your channel.
bulkheads and the violent shaking of the ship as it's pulled from the warp. Let's see. The rest of you are pretty much still asleep. Thank God this wasn't an enemy coming to assassinate you, because damn.
Yeah,
All
that-
of you
that would've
fucking
been-
failed.
I'm sure there would have been an alarm. I believe in our tech priests.
What are we rolling?
Security systems.
Can you roll me a
so-
perception check, please, Khaled?
The only person who made theirs is Hatuni. That's kind of funny.
Everyone else is so heavy.
We would have had a night watch anyways with two people probably. Hey!
Okay, cool. So
Congratulations,
your
you're the
two
Night Watch.
people from the Inquisition are the only people who are waking up.
To be fair, my
Breezy.
perce-
Oh yeah,
my-
go ahead and roll for Baron.
Oh,
as well,
50.
please.
I think
Now-
it's maybe just that the Inquisitors are the only one who aren't used to warp travel and therefore have not
Just
used
shy.
violent shaking.
Okay.
Exactly.
You see Baron kick and maybe look like he's running just a little bit in his sleep, but nothing.
Aw.
nothing distressing. You, however, are violently shooken awake as you hear creaking of metal and the vibration of the ship as it's pulled from warp space into real space. Hatuni, on your data slate, you get a message from the Primarch that reads, "It is time. Awaken the squad."
Let's see. She pulls up her Voxcaster and speaks into it towards the squad's own Voxcaster.
Who is
If any of
Leroy?
you are awake, could you please respond? Over.
Who would
Am
have
I
their
on that
Vox?
box?
Who would have their Voxcaster turn? You, Breezy, you can go ahead and respond.
I believe Breezy has it.
Oh wait, is Breezy?
Well, I
the
thought
one
I
that has
had it.
I was asking,
not
am
Breezy.
I on that?
Time out,
It would
time
be
out, time
Prince.
out. I know my character set the box next to
Leroy.
Frank over there.
Yep.
Would I wake up?
Did you roll perception? Oh yeah, you did.
I'm asleep though.
Yeah, asleep.
Yeah, that's
I
up-
mean,
yeah.
if
You're
the
asleep, but-
violent shaking of the ship didn't wake you up.
Then what about the Voxcaster?
So it does wake me up.
No, but I can have you roll a perception again as soon as because you talked, and you can get a plus 20.
I'm gonna. Oh boy.
Add plus 20 to the roll. Or, sorry, when it asks you for any modifiers, just put 20. Like that, yeah.
Hey, there you are.
Aw.
So,
I woke
Frank,
up.
you are woken by the sound of the Inquisitor, basically asking for anybody who may be awake.
Hello?
Hello, a response. Who is this? I believe this was,
Frank?
Yes, Frank. I do remember you. Could you wake up the rest of your squad? It's time for everyone to get prepared to embark.
So I'm not dreaming still?
No, you are not dreaming.
What was that loud noise?
It was either me talking or translation from the warp.
Oh, it's the box thing that's speaking. Hold up 1 second. Okay, yeah, I guess I wake everyone up.
Amazing.
Oh, I actually forgot.
But
I actually get a plus 20
man, thanks for the
perception
follow.
to sights and sounds from
From
plus
this point
10
forward.
from the
you succeeded.
plus 10 from the what's it called
Auto
GT, and another
senses.
plus
From
10
this
from the auto
point
senses.
forward.
Yeah.
I have a talking box.
He thinks it's the
Holy
whispers
shit.
of the
Don't we
Emperor
all?
talking to him directly. It's actually just a talking box.
God damn it, Leader.
That's one way to communicate to the warp.
No, I just wake everyone up and go, "Hey guys, I got a talking box." This isn't heresy, right? That would be bad.
Dude, it's the Vox caster. Of course, it's not.
Lear,
Like,
Leaving.
I'm gonna give you
Ah.
a chance.
I'll call it Vox then.
Yeah.
Lear, I'm gonna give you a chance of intelligence plus 20 to maybe at least pull yourself out of this one.
Nope.
Let's see
It's
what
Vox.
Lear's-
It's a talking box.
talking box.
Okay.
See what Lear's
It's the
intelligence.
first time you've ever seen one.
Whoa!
I mean, you've heard of
Oh,
you
He's
know,
heard only rumors.
that's not bad.
people
kind of
who've
retarded,
heard things from people that weren't there, but this is just something entirely different.
This is brand new, baby.
Okay, so when
This is gonna be fun.
Hi, I'm your new talking box friend. It's so nice to meet you, Frank.
Oh my
Oh,
And by the way, ladies and
it's so
gentlemen,
good to finally give idiots and have a friend. Oh boy, it's nice to meet you, Frank. I'm
hallucinating?
New Crusade.
I think I'm hallucinating.
ladies and
My
gentlemen,
earballs.
I'm
Remember this, please.
Remember, nobody else can hear me. Only you can hear me, Frank.
ladies and gentlemen.
Few people listening.
Now remember, don't let them know that I can talk, Frank, or else they'll take me away. Don't mention it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce Zorn the Bear, the voice of Vox.
The box.
What the shit?
Fox
boy.
persona.
He'll probably live longer than any of us.
No one's gonna kill the Fox. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay, that was fun. I enjoyed that.
That was great.
To reel it back in. To reel it back in.
I'm scared.
Yeah. Anyway,
Please
yeah.
tell me that's clipped. That needs to be clipped. That was just too good.
Chat, if anybody can clip
Oh,
that, go
God.
ahead.
Okay, to reel it back in.
To reel everything back in,
Yes.
You just killed the squad.
Mad Marker, you kind of look around. Regimental Sergeant Major McNull is nowhere to be found, likely attending to the duties of the entire regiment rather than just the happenings of one squad. So, essentially, the squad is under your command. Majority of your men are ready to go, as they have kind of slept in their uniforms, not knowing when they were going to be called upon or not. You do have specific instructions telling you to, once your men are ready, geared up and ready to go, to make your way down to the hangar bay.
Alright, guys, get your stuff. We're moving to the hangar.
Gums
Cal,
yawns into a
you
heavy
have
fist.
separate instructions, along with Hatuni, you were already told to go down there as soon as you got up. For you know why your mission is here.
And I do after.
Tiger. You have instructions as well as to meet the guardsmen in the hangar bay.
Roger, Roger.
Alright, for reference, I'm the only one that heard a Lehman Russ, right?
Huh?
As I don't know. I'm
Wait, is that
What?
in
Lehman
character or out of
because-
character?
No, because he said the rumbling, and then like he just kind of got woken in the middle of sleep, so it's just making sure that he has his bearings.
Oh, that's in character. Okay.
Yes.
I think you hit your head on your way down.
Alright.
Gums says as he rubs it back of his own head.
In case we need to start getting our stuff together, so. How?
Yeah. I'm working on it. Keith just kind of gets up, starts prepping kit. Anybody need help with anything?
I think I got everything I need.
Gums looks from the distance from his bunk to the floor. No, this isn't normal. He just turned around and hopped off the bunk, getting prepped up.
I think Frank might need help, but he might be beyond it.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. I was just wondering if his boss
Pack
can
your
talk
shoes,
again.
Frank.
God damn
Okay.
it, Zoran.
Oh, I gotta pack my shoes.
Hey, anyone seen what's his name? Freaking. Anyone
And
seen
don't
our
forget
hairy
your
friend?
batteries.
Are you talking about the little cat thing?
No, I'm talking about the guy that doesn't shower.
I don't know.
Alright.
All of your squad are ready, though they may not all accompany you right away. As we played this as hot seat due to the timing. All your squad, including the commissary, including anybody that was here that was assigned to the squad, they're all readying up or are ready.
All right, who remembers where the hangar is?
Oh boy.
We have a hangar?
Oh, jeez.
Wait, didn't someone have a data slate? You can just use that if you need to.
That's the sergeant.
I'm sure there's a map
I'm gonna pull
somewhere.
out the data slate and see if there's a diagram saying how to get to the hangar.
Should be.
Yeah, we'll say that there's a friendly little diagram leading you guys to the main hangar.
You are here.
Yeah, it's actually the Apple pin saying where you are and where you need to go.
Nice. Nice reference.
I feel like we should know where to go at this point. That's just
you
me.
guys have been on the ship
Long
little
enough.
over 3 months now.
Okay. We've
in
had
transit.
time to learn it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're implying I can find my own bath from my own house. I've lived here for 5 years.
Yeah. So, in the spirit of brevity, let's go ahead and say that you guys make your way down to the hangar. Sitting there, ready and basically getting in his warm-up cycle, is a besplendent Stormbird, in the traditional crimson, black, and gold coloring of the Myrmidon Legionnaire Astartes chapter, or as we learned later on, the Astartes Legio. Standing beside it is, of course, your friendly neighborhood chaplain, and kind of looking over it, not super, in detail, but kind of just observing his craft is the interrogator Kaladin, and in tow, kind of walking around in a slight trot, is his pyre cat Baron. The hangar bay is quite of a bustle. There are many individuals, naval personnel, even a few Astartes walking around, who are kind of traveling to and from multiple different aircraft, spacecraft, as well as on the far side of the hangar, you can actually see small fighters, prepping to launch from the hangar bay, likely to be part of the combat air patrol while the ship is in gravitational anchor. As you guys get closer, you kind of start ascertaining that this one spacecraft, or this one, I guess, aerial spacecraft? Yeah, whatever. The Stormbird is yours. You're able to kind of piece together that these two individuals standing here, and the individual who has not yet joined you, have kind of designated this craft as yours.
All right, pick a seat and set your kit up. Need help with the autocannon over there, Jack? Frank?
They've sure given us a very fancy ride, didn't they? Much more better looking than the Valkyrie.
Are we even going to be able to fit in these seats?
Yeah, the Stormbird can be outfitted to fit guardsmen. Actually, quite a bit. Actually,
They're meant for Space Marines, guys.
they're meant for Space Marines. They can fit. They can be outfitted to fit guardsmen, as well as guardsmen along with vehicles.
Ratlings.
It's called adjustable seat belts.
You gotta get the booster seats for the guardsmen.
Baby chairs.
Well, there's only one thing I don't like about this situation. Flying in one of these things tends to mean we go into very, very, very dangerous areas. I like to go into the dangerous areas from outside, not straight in.
Yay, I'm a support role so I can stay in the back. I mean...
You're going to be a big
Hey, have you
target
seen
with
my
that
new box?
autocannon there.
It talks.
Oh boy.
Gums versus a bro. It talks, you say. Well, it's the purpose of it.
Hey, Sergeant, when you get a chance, see if you can find someone to take the Vox caster off of Frank.
No.
He's getting a little nutty.
No. It's mine. I like talking to it.
Don't
It talks
let
to
them
me,
take me.
and it tells me what to do.
Don't let them take me. We must be together forever, Frank. I must always be embedded in you forever, and you must not let them take me.
Oh,
Understood,
boy.
Frank? Because if I go, you go too. You know that, right?
Okay.
Now don't
Alright,
be a
Cal.
bitch
Threatened
and
by a
convince them
box.
to not take me.
The last
I'm
one
sure
to
the
get in
Inquisitor
is...
would love it.
I'm so confused.
The last one to get in is the hulking figure of the Space Marine chaplain, as he gets in one of the regular seats that are specifically meant for Starties, and looks at like he comfortably sits in, oftentimes probably expecting that he was supposed to have probably over 100 Space Marines in this craft with him, and enjoying the fact that there's not. Or maybe not enjoying, who knows? I'll let him decide that.
I mean, it's nice that it's rooming.
Yeah. Cal, is there anything you want to do prior to spool up?
Gonna make sure that Baron and all of them Baron is all suited up and ready to go. His little flight suit and everything.
So the rest of you see basically this large jungle cat. Mind you, this is like a tiger. Is wearing basically what would be like a gravity suit for if you guys have any understanding, like a gravity spacesuit for a pilot. As this human is putting goggles and a flight cap on a large, dangerous, deadly jungle cat. And the jungle cat does not seem to mind, and possibly could be enjoying the attention. You're not 100% sure, but this is happening.
Alright.
Keith just slowly shakes his head. Frick Inquisitors.
Go pet the kitty, Frank.
Sergeant, I believe that
I already have a
the
box.
Voxcaster should be confiscated from Frank. I don't think it's a good idea for him to keep.
Are you saying I am not good at relaying information, Trooper?
To be fair,
If I'm
Yes,
trusted
actually.
enough to have this freaking autocannon, I am trusted enough to have this box.
It's not even. That's the reason why you're not allowed to have it. It's not a box.
It's a Vox.
I think he's probably hit his head a bit too hard when he woke up.
I mean, we could
considering our
take it
job,
and
it
give it
wouldn't
to
be the
Gums,
first time.
and then he could talk to the Inquisitor whenever he
has
wants,
long
and then we'd all
legs.
get shot.
You
Yeah,
are.
I'd rather him only think about the gun rather than the gun and the box.
Oh, forget it.
It's a bit
What's
too
up,
late
Gore?
for
What's up,
he
Rebellion?
sends me things. We should just roll with it.
Oh, hey, out of character real fast. Are we actually getting our comrades now, or what?
Not quite yet. We'll raise
Okay,
that
double
up.
checking.
I will start handing out. I will start assigning comrades and giving you guys your comrades once we get closer to the actual first big battle.
Gotcha.
Think of this as like the beginning of the Dark Heresy portion of this.
The extended beginning, got it.
Well, the first session was for you guys to really get acquainted with each other and kind of establish, your roles as role players.
This is the tutorial level.
No, the last session was the tutorial level. This is when the
Yeah.
gloves come off.
That was the opening cutscene of the crap show.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. All right, so first and foremost, Breezy, will you give me a what is it? Give me a is it airspace? Hatuni, is it aerial?
I would say
operation, or is it space?
Aeronautica.
Aeronautica. Give me an aeronautica.
Aerospace, aeronautica.
Yeah. Give me an aeronautica operation check, please.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Awesome.
All right. So, Breezy, would you like to describe how you fly down to the, or would you like me?
Can you simply describe the building that we're in right now? Like, what is the place that we are in?
You are in one of
Like,
the.
I know we're in the ship.
Yeah, you are in one of the main hangars of this massive. And when I say massive, I mean it would be considered close to miles long.
It's the Emperor's endowment. It's big.
The area of this hangar is it takes up either side of the ship, so it spans the width of the ship itself, right? There are a series of 4 large armored hangar doors that open and close with a atmospheric shield to keep the hangar bay actually pressurized. And in between all these hangars is a large conning tower of an octagonal shape that comes down from the ceiling and basically is complete panoramic windows with a number of individuals who are, typing on cogitators, looking at hollow screens, and a number of officers who are keeping track of all the incoming and outgoing traffic.
Gotcha.
You are in the side closest to the end of the hangar towards the bow of the ship, the front of the ship. Beyond that, to the other 3 areas, there's another Stormbird right next to you. A pair of Valkyries facing either direction in that third portion, and about 6 fighters which are spooling up and getting ready to launch from the ship on the last portion.
Gotcha. All right. I'm gonna request permission to take off, or clearance to take off. Not permission.
Stormbird 1, you have full clearance.
I'm gonna begin our ascent. Point towards the opening.
You see as the large hangar doors begin to open, revealing the vast emptiness of space.
Gotcha. Gonna make sure the back is closed, and I'm going to say, hold on now. And I am fucking gunning that shit. Straight out fucking into space.
All of you...
Inertial dampeners wouldn't help, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
All of you... Inertial dampeners basically prevent you guys from dying right then, except for maybe Tiger. And even Tiger, you would feel a great deal of the negative G's that just literally got slammed against your body.
Right.
Thankfully, Stormbirds are equipped with inertial dampeners, much like any other aircraft and spacecraft of the 42nd millennia, excuse me. But damn, if you're not fucking thrown to to one side of your seat as the large armored space aircraft jolts its way out of the fucking hangar, and immediately corkscrews down towards the planet.
Do you recall Apu from our previous campaign?
I remember Apu greatly, yes. Okay.
What he did that one time.
Alright.
Right, it's this Parlous trying to get us killed.
And I'm
let's go ahead and say...
laughing from the front.
Yeah, all of you go ahead and make a toughness check with like a minus... Or sorry, with a... We'll say a plus 15.
Ooh, something I'm actually good at.
Yeah.
Can we take a second and enjoy that? Something I'm actually good at. Staying alive. Just having health. That's what I'm good at.
Uh-oh.
Being a being that
God.
exists that you're good at.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
my.
nice.
Oh, man.
Alrighty.
I'm checking numbers. Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, buddy.
No.
Hey, Frank, roll a check for me.
Frank, just roll a one.
Do we have 3 critical fails?
Don't worry, I have something for him.
Oh, there's actually critical
no.
fails? No, those aren't critical fails. Those are just failures with minuses.
So Arnie, Hechuni has magic hands. Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
You got
Wait.
There you go.
52.
I have
52. Hituni, what do you think a Vox box? I want to call it a Vox box, but what do you
That's
think
an
a
option.
Vox caster's toughness actually is?
Machine spirit of the Vox.
Yeah.
Well, given that it's not alive, it probably wouldn't care too much about this.
Okay.
I care very much.
Wait, is Zoran just
Alright,
the
I got
machine
you.
spirit of the Fox cast? It just sunk in.
Mind your own business, human.
Zoran is missing his friends, and so he gets to be the.
There's a reason the Inquisitor gave this one away.
Spirit.
It's machine
All right,
spirit.
so in
Alright,
order,
Frank, what did I get?
Zoran, you got
52.
52.
Did I win?
You win.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, continue on, Capcom.
All right. Oh, thank you. All right. Keith Garrett, you get lurched to one side of the of the of your seat, and it's a little uncomfortable, but you fucking muscle through it. It's nothing. You carry around a fucking autocannon all day. You're not. This is nothing.
I'm not.
Section-
No,
actually-
sorry. Wait, Keith is not autogunner. Oh my bad.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
John
My
is.
bad. John is. Actually, because you guys are pretty close to get together on that one, both of you are basically thrown to one side of your seats. But nothing breaks the will of the guard, and you guys basically manage to keep your lunch and breakfast.
Oh no.
Definitely not dinner though.
Someone's
Well,
messing
dinner
up,
hasn't
though.
happened yet.
Someone's messing up, though.
Let's see. Hatuni, it's fairly uncomfortable, but it's you have had some pretty interesting pilots in the past. Experience helps you get through this tribulation. But it is uncomfortable, and you are ever so annoyed at this interrogator's audacity.
By the saints of our holy emperor, can you not do this again?
I second that one.
Meanwhile, while that happens, Frank, holy fucking shit!
I know it gets
You,
worse from here.
Yoink!
It gets worse.
Frank, not only are you thrown to the side of your seat with the force of, well, you're not really sure, because you're too busy trying to keep your lunch down, and you are slightly turning green. If this keeps up, you will probably end up losing your lunch. Tiger, yeah, this is like just like a drop pod. Nothing new.
This feels
like
like
a
we just
drop pod.
landed.
Oh.
Didn't know any better.
So
We'd be
did-
behind enemy lines.
Gums and Mad Marker. Gums,
Wait,
your
he just passes out.
your diminutive form is feeling this more than anybody else, and you are turning green, getting ready to puke right now.
Better not puke on my spears
Meanwhile,
and just shine them.
Mad Marker, a lot like Frank, you are turning green and you are getting close to being very sick. If this continues on, you will likely end up puking by the end of this.
Anybody got some extra ration bags or something for these guys?
I'm not surprised that Gums is not passed out yet.
And Vox the Box? Huh.
Bam.
Humans are weird.
You're weird.
Yo, weird.
Alright, so, meanwhile, in the cockpit, a Kaladin, a distant voice from something you sound familiar tells you, do not do that again. But you're too busy having way too much fun flying a aircraft that you never got to touch before. This thing handles like no fucking aircraft that you've ever been able to touch.
Yeah.
Even better than what you would suspect that Apu was flying those many years ago. As you enter the atmosphere, the shaking, jostling, and vibration of the ship becomes very apparent, and all of you tell that Kaladin is not slowing down. If anything, he may be picking up more speed. It's a little difficult to tell, but if you guys are able to peer out the window ever so slightly, you do get a pretty good vista. The dark clouds of smog and pollution that billow around glittering hive spires begins to enter the frame of view. And though you may be traveling at many, possibly quite a few hundreds of kilometers per hour, you do see the immense, sprawling metropolis that is the capital city of Orbita Primaris. And for just a split second before mortal fear captures you, you are able to take in the amazement that is the ability of humanity to survive in any condition. And that is completely ripped away from you as the aircraft makes a very quick corkscrew and begins coming to a screeching halt as it approaches its landing port at the upper part of the hive. And almost as quickly as it all started, it stops. The aircraft comes to a lurching halt. You guys are thrown almost to the other side of your seats. Those of you who are very close to puking, I believe it was Mad Marker and Frank, go ahead and give me another toughness check.
And Gums
While the
is
rest
gonna
of you,
puke.
literally just get thrown, get jostled left and right in your
Wait,
chairs.
what comes here? Guy rule 6.
Oh yeah, he gets a negative. He got a.
Don't
Gums,
be Frank. Don't be a bitch, Frank.
Is
Gums,
there a
yeah, you
modifier?
can give me another roll. Go ahead.
Boy. What's it this time?
Frank, you managed to hold down your lunch and breakfast.
Sergeant
Mad
Dawson.
Marker, with that sudden jolt, and Gums with that sudden jolt, you two begin vomiting uncontrollably.
Cal, the next time you do that, I'm gonna smack the crap out of you. We got two people's worth of vomit on the floor now. You're cleaning this. Because you did this.
Inquisitor, can I suggest that we get a different pilot?
No, to be honest, he is the best designated driver. However, I don't want that again.
Yeah. I recommend giving him some limits from now on.
Cal, you and your cat are cleaning this shit up. She says as she goes out the back of the craft. Actually,
Cal,
goes
how does Baron
feel about vomit? Thank you for giving exactly what I was thinking. I was about to say, I was gonna look to fucking Baron. How do you like vomit, don't you? Don't you?
Good God.
So I'm taking Baron is fairly accustomed to vomit then.
Yes.
Okay, Baron,
That poor
you
animal.
all see as the pirate cat stalks near the vomit and begins to devour it.
Hold up, I need to do something for myself.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
That's disgusting.
Okay, I don't vomit upon seeing this.
Fair enough.
Alright. So John is just gonna grab his auto gun and then just step right out, avoiding the vomit and the cat.
I think we all do that with our respective weapons.
Yep.
Oh, and John, that's
Gums
auto
pressing
cannon.
his dagger's alt.
Yeah, auto gun, my bad. I misspoke.
Oh yeah, the people with autocannons need help lifting that, or like.
I think they can like carry it on their shoulders, but they can't really set it up by themselves efficiently.
I mean, you can.
It just takes longer than it would be with a 2-man team.
Yeah, okay. Just wondering.
Well, so much for liking the interrogator.
If the heavy gunners are strong boys.
How much time did we save?
Oh, so the usual descent into orbit could take anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes. You got it done in like 10.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
New record.
Next, let's not beat that record
Yeah, you were-
again, please.
Yeah, chat is saying that terminal velocity dropped. You were not even at terminal velocity. You were actually accelerating as you're dropping, and then basically used almost like a slingshot maneuver to decelerate yourself.
Sweet.
I will say that for the split second we had it, that view was nice.
True.
Well, as you guys step out, you are on one of the external landing pads of the upper hive. Before you is the sprawling metropolis of Tech Priest. Would you please give me the capital hive for Orbita, please?
Yeah, give me a second. I don't know if I came up with that.
I felt like it started with a C. Oh no, you had second.
Oh yeah. Hive Boros.
There you go, Hive Boros. Before you lies the crowded and actually quite spectacular view of Hive Boros' exterior upper hive. You see a number of sky cars flying about. Ever so occasionally, they create an occasional freighter moving to and from different sections of the hive. A little bit beyond, you do see the billowing smokestacks of a number of manufactorums in operation. And, of course, you see the beautiful vista of this somewhat continental guarded world of Orbita Primaris.
Say what you will about hive cities. They know how to make it look nice, at least in the upper hive areas.
Yeah, down in the lower sections, like.
No, trust me, I know about it.
Low areas have their own beauty.
I've heard some people equate the lower reaches of the old casters to underhives. Ugh.
Please let me know when Baron is finished eating.
Roll me a 1d5.
Frank's just gonna mutter something.
Just because it looks nice
That takes
doesn't mean
rolling
you
for
should
about
let
2
your guard
minutes.
down.
Minutes?
He's a fucking tiger, guys.
True.
So, where are we going?
Well, if I have my ideas correct, here, let me provide to you a few directions. She goes and acquires she rather rudely grabs who has the data slate here in the party?
Head marker.
Yeah.
She somewhat rudely grabs your data slate and hooks it into her own before basically downloading some information into it, being, for one, a map of the hive, at least a rudimentary one, with a few markers. Most of them have been expunged, however, one of which is marked as a safe house. I believe that's a nice place to start and get acquainted with, as she points to it. For Mad Marker.
Mad Marker, you may mark down. You may put down for your own notes that you have a detailed map of the upper hive, a rudimentary map of the mid hive, and a, we'll say, sketchy, incomplete map of the lower hive. As well as a perfect direction to Hive Boros safe house.
So, I have a few things I need to get settled with here for now, but the rest of you should go and make yourselves acquainted with the populace and maybe continue with your objectives. Understood?
Yes.
All right. Just remember, you can call me on the Voxcaster if needed.
Someone please take that away from Frank.
She says before she waves off and begins her way into the hive.
All right. So you guys see as the lithe figure of the Inquisitor basically walks off into the interior of the upper hive and disappears from view.
Hey,
You're now
wake
left
up.
to your own devices, along with
I would assume Tiger.
along with of course Tiger is with you, and Cal is there as well.
What's the dealio with this landing pad? Is this like just ours, or is it safe? With what?
You can look around, Breezy, and you see not only a few guardsmen that are actually guarding the landing pad, but along with a number of the hive's own arbites that also seem to be very heavily armed. Yeah, it's a very secure landing pad. That was already put into your telemetry when you're landing.
Perfect.
I'm curious of the PDF of this planet. Is there a
research
PDF?
have you done? Oh,
I've done
is
research.
there a PDF of the planet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Hope so,
Though it's
a place like
considered a small hive world of only about 11 to 14 billion people, it does have its own PDF. They're fairly decently equipped, and there are maybe about 7 to 8 regiments of them in total to cover the entire planet. Not a great deal, but it's also not that big of a planet either. The Orbita subsector is not massive in size, but it's not really considered a small subsector either.
Alright.
As you guys kind of peer, actually, go ahead and those of you who are interested, go ahead and give me a perception check of your
And
surroundings.
might as well.
Of your surroundings.
Why not?
By the way, I didn't mean to ask this, but does heightened senses
Hey,
give a
actually
bonus
succeeded
roll
for
to perception at all?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, we're actually succeeding these. What?
oh, and what would that bonus
Don't
be
jinx it.
actually?
It's usually a +10.
Oh, and that's to the modifier?
Plus 10? I just did normal perception. So that would have been 3.
No, that's with heightened senses.
Oh, never mind.
He's a ratling. He has heightened
Yeah.
senses.
Or gums.
Yeah, four gums. You can't
man.
see.
Wow.
Gums.
He's too amazed.
I won't
You're
bring the puke.
you're far too captivated with the actual hive itself. Not really knowing too much of your backstory. I would say that Gums is very impressed with.
I want to say he's sick. Still.
Yeah, we'll say he's sick. We'll say he's still kind of queasy. You did get some pretty devastating.
I'm both 6, yeah.
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 Minus 6.
Minus 6.
Yeah. 6 degrees of failure.
So we know what.
Yeah.
Understand what
The
he's
rest of
trying
you,
to say.
however, okay, yeah, that's right. The rest of you see that as you peer beyond the hive, it's ever expanding oceans. For as far as the eye can see, you can kind of take a gander, and those of you who this may be a good chance to use this kind of a roll. Who has common lore of the Imperium?
Jackal does. Or John does, my bad.
We all should,
I think we
honestly.
all
At least
do.
we
Yeah,
basically
Everyone
all do.
does.
Okay. Those of you who have it, go ahead and give me a roll. We'll see how much you know about this planet.
What do you know? Right? No modifiers?
Hitini, what do you think?
It's a somewhat specific planet, but given that you guys would have known that you're coming here, maybe a +10, because since it might rattle your memory a slight bit more.
Maybe.
Common for Imperium?
Ah, dang it.
Yep.
Common lore of
Ah,
Imperium.
rip.
So just intelligence?
No,
It is.
there's a macro for it on the skills page.
Just trying to find the lore common. You should have wrote Imperium. Just click that box and add a 10 to it.
Yeah. You guys could probably.
Gotcha.
Only on the minute.
Nice. 1 degree of success.
Do I buffer rolling or no?
You can gums. I think. Wait, no.
No.
What?
Yeah. No, do gums buffer rolling or?
If you, this is basically going to tell me how much do you actually know.
Okay.
So this is different from the perception, and Frank's the only one that knows anything.
So Keith, you do know. All of you, I'll say that all of you, except for maybe Gums. Gums, you don't know this.
Okay.
I would say that -4 actually would prevent you. That basically you just didn't do any research.
Yeah.
Yeah, you found it.
Or just
you
napped right through the PowerPoints.
No, he just didn't do any research. He didn't care. He didn't care enough to do it, essentially. The rest of you, John, to a much lesser extent, all of you know that Orbita Primaris is the capital world of the Orbitus subsector. The Orbita subsector. All of you know that this is an ocean world, which means that well over 80% of the entire surface of the planet is covered in oceans. The remaining area that has any land at all is either created by volcanic means or are the remnants of former continental shelves, which is where most of the hive cities take place. Frank, you know that the world was originally discovered in M33, and that the areas around the tropical, or around the equator, are very prone to constant storms, as the quickly cooling air from the north and southern poles of the world tend to collide at the center or right at the equator of the world, which causes it to have constant unstable weather. Yes.
Thanks, Fox.
Go ahead.
Can I
Go ahead.
Because actually, it's a little more interesting. What he's discussing is something known as the tumults. There are two bands, approximately at what
He doesn't have that information
on
there,
Earth.
Priest. That's the
Oh, he
other
doesn't? Okay.
No,
So
he only had
just knows
1
that
degree.
it's all the
Yeah.
way to the equator.
Yeah, I'm giving him basic
Okay.
information.
If they go out and find more, they can actually get some more information.
Achilles,
1 degree success.
Based on my research previously from my headquarters, as well as my knowledge of the underworld, what can you tell me about the underworld, shadier areas of this planet?
Tech Priest, if you would like to enlighten on that, or would you like me to?
Can you say it again, Breezy?
He's asking.
Sure. Tell me about the underworld, like the shadier regions, the mafiosos. What do we got in the more not lawful areas?
Okay. Let's see. The areas with the most crime, and yet also considered one of the most desired areas to be on the planet, is actually right along the equator. There are multiple hives there in just a single strip of just calm weather perpetually, as if it's a tropical paradise. Now, in those hives, even though some of the rich and famous live there, deep in the underhives, you have they're sharing these basically these servants what are serving. They're working down in the underhives and forced to share this area with hive gangers, thieves, mercenaries, and black marketeers. And we are talking, if you can get it, more than likely you can find it there. But it's going to cost quite a bit.
That's the middle equator area, one of the high worlds there.
Call it like the equatorial region of the planet.
Gotcha.
And in an area beset or known for tropical storms, it sounds like that'd be something called the eye of the ring's eye or something like that.
I thought he was about to say Eye of Terror. I was going to smack him.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Plus, that was out of character. Sorry, I forgot to mention that part.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I changed my voice a bit, so people can kind of try to understand, like, hey, this is actually in character.
Anyway.
Now, Reezy would know this in character, I believe, because doesn't he have an info form?
He has an information, or he has the ability to access like the underworld and create networked information for himself.
All right, so then he's probably gonna know it, the weather stuff as well, anyway.
Yeah.
All right. I think there's enough.
Not yet, Breezy. You haven't actually touched down on the planet to actually do that.
Gotcha.
You basically what you've been doing is you've been kind of tapping into infonet streams and kind of picking up on that information and seeing chatter between various gangs and stuff like that back and forth, and you've been able to kind of piece this stuff together.
Gotcha.
Alright. I think this is enough sightseeing. Everyone agree that we should start heading to the safe house?
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, as you guys kind of leave the exterior hangar area and begin entering into the upper hive, you can't help but notice that all of a sudden it just feels pleasantly warm. The lighting is bright-ish, but not imposing in any sort of way, and it just has kind of like a very pleasant atmosphere about it. As you look up, you see. Okay. As you look up, you see that there is a kind of a blazing ball of fusion in the air. The upper hive of this, the upper hive in this area has an artificial sun that they keep suspended, just for light and warmth.
That ain't normal.
In before at the end of the session, someone's gonna try and take it down.
Yep.
In before, at some point throughout this campaign, someone's gonna try and bring that down onto the hive.
Yeah.
If that is in your notebook, Achilles.
Oh, okay. Alright, I'll make that note.
Oh, damn it. Well, it is now, so get ready for it.
Alright. Upper world hivers have things luxurious. Like
those of you who, does anybody here have a background in nobility? I'll be very surprised if you do. I'll be incredibly surprised if you do.
Well, Rebellion's not here, so no.
Okay, so, Rebellion might make a remark to it, but that's fine. Yeah.
hive.
Yeah. But yeah, so though pretty much all of you would be pretty astonished. Tiger, you'd be apathetic. To the fact that there is basically a sustained ball of fusion hovering in the air, providing warmth and light to everybody. As you walk through, you see many individuals, resplendent in finery, none of which you've ever seen before. Some people are wearing silk sundresses. Others are wearing exquisite, gold-threaded trimmings on marvelous clothing.
Rich people clothes.
Which rich in decadence does not begin to sum up what you guys are beholding right now.
Yes.
It's pretty astonishing to all of you. Finally, you arrive at a
Safe house?
well, the safe house, yes, as Mad Marker would be able to figure out just based upon his map. But it's basically an older home in reflection to the other buildings that surround it, which are decadent in pink and white marbles with
Hey,
gold,
wake
with
up.
furthermore gold trimmings. And it's it's not like it's decrepit in any sort of way, but it's obviously been either foreclosed or just been on the market for so long that nobody's really cared about it. It's quite nice compared to what you guys are used to seeing it. Especially, it's fairly nice compared to sitting in heavy plasteel and adamantium bulkheads. So it's pretty nice reprieve given to what you guys actually are used to. But in retrospect, compared to everything that's around it, it's all right.
Can we make our way in?
As you guys walk up to it,
door.
you see that the door is locked. You see a scanner to the right of the door. Looks to be some sort of hand scanner or some sort of biometric scanner. And you see a red light just over it.
Sergeant, you're probably the best choice here.
Yeah, Sergeant, I agree with Keith here. I think you're the best one to try to open it.
Is Kaladin with us?
I think Kaladin's still busy doing other things.
Are you with them?
I might be with him for now.
Okay. Yeah. The interrogator's still with you.
Okay.
Here I was expecting the interrogator to be sleeping in the jet.
Yeah, to be honest.
All right.
Go
I'll
ahead.
put my hand on the scanner, and if it doesn't work, we might need Cal to try it.
That's fine.
Okay. You put your hand on the scanner. You see a green light that kind of goes up and down your hand, and you see the red light turn green. The door, you hear a
User disconnected
as
from your
many
channel.
locks all of a sudden become unlocked, and the door pops open ever so slightly.
Oh, here we go.
User joined your channel.
Oh, the Inquisitor ain't here, so I guess that means you, Jeff. Oh, I'm sorry. That's you. Frank. Sorry.
Did you just forget what my name was? Who the fuck is
Fuck him up,
Jeff?
Frank.
And just like that, the
up,
first
Frank.
kill in the game.
Got your shit wrong. Stop.
Frank, just shut up and go inside.
Okay, Frank.
Fine. Frank goes first.
I'm more surprised that he didn't get insulted that I called him a woman.
You stalker. Hey, Zach.
Alright. As you guys enter, the house oddly seems clean. There does not seem to be a speck of dust anywhere.
This is not right.
Before you sits a fairly large foyer, living room, dining, kitchen area, with decent furniture and seats for everybody. They all face a wall that does have a holographic viewer attached to it. There are stairs that lead to an upstairs portion of the house. There is a back door that leads to a fairly small garden-style backyard. This house was probably some sort of guest house for a much larger manor that is no longer in the area, and has thusly been converted into some sort of a rental property that has gone disused for many years. And yet, for some reason, there seems to be new furniture. The house, oddly clean. quite the opposite given its exterior form.
Right, so what John's gonna do is he takes a quick look around the area. He sets up his autocannon facing the front door in an advantageous spot, and then just kind of look around with his las gun out just to be
Do
sure.
all of you enter?
Oh, I'm going in and I am
Frank's
kicking
already
up
in, he's
on the
gonna
couch.
relax.
Cool.
Yeah,
all
good.
of you that are
Gun,
inside the
anti-sniff.
living room area, give me a perception check with a +10. Given
Do
that
I
you're all
add a
suspicious.
plus 10?
Yes, that is additional to what you already get.
No, me. Do I add a plus?
Yes,
Yes.
that's additional to what you get.
For you, it'd
Looks
be a
like
20.
home, boys.
Hey, look at that reroll there, Gums.
Frank,
I?
you're just
Oh.
amazed that you have a fucking roof over your head. Woo! Mad Marker, you're just too suspicious about everything to really notice this one small detail. As for the rest of you, you all notice that at the holographic viewer, there seems to be a blinking, let's go with like that old AOL looking icon for when you have new mail.
You got mail.
Except it doesn't say fucking you got mail. It's that fucking shit.
God damn it. I
You
bet it
got
says you
message.
have mail.
Anyway,
Click.
All right, so Tiger clicks on the hollow button. We'll call it a hollow button for now. Before you
somehow
stands
breaks it.
basically an 85-inch image of the Primarch Achilles to Hellenica. His ever helmed visage encompassing the entire view screen. The message goes as follows. Welcome. I see that all of you have made it to Orbita, if you're getting this message. If some of you didn't make it, oh well, you'll be there soon enough. Which this message won't pertain to you anyway. But those of you that are here, you all know why you're here, you're brought to this planet, to seek out any warp incursion that possibly may be infesting this planet prior to the arrival of the Crusade.
Yep.
Yeah.
nice touch, Tiger.
Yep.
This house has been fully stocked for you. New food we've brought in once a week. Try not to eat all of it while you're here. We have already preordained the amount of food that's needed to sustain roughly a 12-man squad. Additional Astartes and inquisitorial assets also included. Additionally, in this message is encoded a credit line of approximately 5,000 throne geld for expenses needed while you're on planet. Do not abuse this. Furthermore, keep your ear to the ground. The powers of the warp are ever vigilant in their attempts to try to avoid you at all costs. Likely, if you do not keep your activities as settled as possible, they will likely pick up on your presence and go to ground, making your job ever so much harder. If you need me, Inquisitor Tooney has my direct line. Get in touch with her, and she will get in touch with me. I'll check in on your progress within 1 week. Good luck. The Emperor protects. And the message disappears.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I look for these inquisitorial assets that he spoke of, and maybe specifically a couple of servo skulls that are either not in use or deactivated?
My servo skull should still be following me, Achilles.
However
You
much
can
I hate
have
to say it,
mine.
I would say that your service goal would probably be stuck in the bag. Because I did not describe it any time prior, because I completely forgot
True.
about it. So you do have your silver skull because that is part of your equipment, but it has not been known until you make it known.
I'll pull it out.
Alright, so, Tiger, you see a server skull in the hands of the Inquisitorial Acolyte. You do know that this is one of the Inquisitorial assets that were given to you. You also can assume that, yes, tech reset, no. We're gonna get to that scene here in just a minute.
Okay.
Just relax, it's okay.
I know, I'm just playing.
So this is one of the two Inquisitor assets that were basically kind of given to you guys or attached to you guys. The other one you can assume is going to be Inquisitor 2, as she was allowed to either not do or do not stay in the safe house that you guys have.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah, you're absolutely fucking correct, Hellbog.
Not that we made a plan of all, I think the first thing we should be doing is gathering information of as much information as we can about this place. Anyone else disagree?
Exorcist is already working on fortifying the position.
I mean, my autogun's already in a good spot.
I'm talking windows, doors, all that stuff. Only problem is we don't have any sea wire. Or even sandbags. Tag him, I knew I forgot something.
Excuse me,
buy some?
Interrogator Caledon.
Yes,
I see you have a servo skull with you.
that's right.
I believe it a bit conspicuous if I were to follow you around in your search. You mind if I connect some of my helmet sensors to the servo skull so that I may see through your eyes without drawing too much attention?
I think you might have a good idea there, but would it not be more prudent to have see-through your squad leaders' eyes?
I'm not sure he has the proper equipment to send me a live video feed.
Sorry.
Fairly sure he doesn't have the proper.
Am I the only one who thinks burn? Got you.
I mean, if he wishes to prove me wrong, I'd happily enjoy it, but for now, I believe the only method is your servo skull.
Exorcist walking by as he's trying to go around. Odds are we don't have any of those camera things.
Achilles, what is he referring to?
He is basically asking Breezy to link the sensors of, or the visual sensors of his power armor to the servo skull so that he can actually see through the servo skull's eyes while keeping his presence to a minimum. Basically, he's talking about like anywhere that
he wants to make a box link.
Yeah, he basically wants to make
so
a
you
video
know Rainbow
box.
Six Siege, but
Yeah.
make that one of the Valkyrie cameras.
Yes, but what do you need to hook up to it?
Just a simple connection, probably.
Okay, because I don't have that.
I'll be able to do it probably.
So okay. I'm gonna give him the servo skull entirely.
I'll be in the back.
That wasn't a weird statement. Oh well, back to work. Goes back to fortifying the walls and the doors and the windows.
Alright, Keith, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to talk with the locals, try to figure out some hot spots that everyone goes to. Maybe we can find some information there.
Hey, don't forget, no tearing up the beds. We actually want to sleep on those.
Tell that to Gums, not me.
Do they have squad radios, by the way?
We got
yes, they do. They all have combeats.
Okay.
And of course, you have helmet stuff.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure to connect to their combeats.
Okay.
So John, at this point, is going to just take a moment, glance around, make sure nothing out or he's around, then head outside and go talk to some of the locals nearby, just trying to figure out where some of the places that a lot of people go to.
Okay. So
I'm just gonna stay and help fortify.
Does Gums join the Jack go with it?
I mean, it's your choice
if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
At this point now, you all can tell me what you want to do, leading to after this point. This is basically, you guys are set free.
Yeah.
We got a base of operations. Now we just figure out what we're gonna do.
Yep.
And first thing that John's doing is gathering information.
So, how are you trying to gather this information, Jackal?
So right now, I'm just trying to figure out where some of the hot areas are. So a lot of places where a lot of people go to.
But tell me, how are you trying to come across this information?
All right. Wait.
Like, explain to me what you're doing to come across it.
Oh, by the way, if you wish to speak to commoners or locals, you may want to take off the guardsman armor to be a little less conspicuous.
Do you want to go talk to them? Do you want to just listen in on them? What do you want to do?
Well, he's trying to just talk with the locals, so
Alright.
rather than just listening in.
By the way, chat,
I
is
think
the
that
audio
would
better now?
be Inquiry Fellowship.
Oh boy, something I'm good at, but
Achilles, what would you say about like a plus 30 or 40 for this? Given they probably would.
If they are taking off their guardsman armor and switching into kind of plain clothes, yeah. You said it was fellowship and plus what?
Fellowship plus 40 if you guys take off your guardsman flak and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we do that, let's not forget that we'll probably need some clothing on par with the locals.
Oh yeah.
You think there's
And
any
I don't
in
think-
here?
Oh yeah. So after we probably
I know that
someone probably would have
Jackal's
told
mic
like
leaks for some reason.
yeah, someone probably would have mentioned that as like John would have switched over to like more casual clothes and out of his guard form, but he was keep his blast pistol on him just in case.
And remember, it's a
Guns
difference
go-
between
It's
wear.
mainly hitting. It's just like hitting.
Yeah,
Somewhere,
Grom's
somewhere.
got basically no armor, no weapons, but he keeps his bandana at least.
Could keep a bayonet in your
Yeah, he
present
keeps a
pocket or something.
bandana, but the
On your
bayonet,
leg.
no.
On your leg.
No, the
So
one in his
Achilles,
head.
Yes.
in this
yes.
safe house, do they have spare clothing to be a bit more discreet?
Yeah. I
Or
would
will
say
they
that.
need to go acquire
That's what I
that?
was wondering.
I would say that would probably be set aside for them.
Yeah. Then John would change over to like more common clothes again, like keeping his blast pistol with him, just somewhere tucked away, out of sight.
It just occurred to me, but do we have wrapping size clothes just to make sure?
Yes.
Yes, they were.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Oddly enough,
here.
there does seem to be a room set aside just for you, Gums.
Yep.
Hooray!
John would switch over to common clothes, keeping the blast pistol somewhere away, go outside and just talk to some of the locals, trying to figure out where a lot of people go.
All right.
Chat just told me that Gums' clothes are basically children's clothes.
So you said inquiry with a 40 modifier?
Inquiry Fellowship. You can change it to Fellowship to the left of your tick markers.
What?
Yeah,
Mine's
there-
set to
you can make
standard
different tests
fellowship,
for
but
it.
yeah.
Yeah, mine's just like inquiry fellowship already.
All right, and
There you go.
do a plus 40 test.
I figured.
Ow.
So
Wait, that's with plus 40?
Yeah. I don't have the basic training for it, meaning it's a minus 20 plus 40.
Inherently.
Yeah. I don't inherently have it, so it's minus 20 for that, and then plus 40 because of the modifiers. My default fellowship is a 30, so it'll just be plus 20 to my fellowship.
So, in general, due to your more guardsman-centered conditioning, you aren't really so socially acclimated to this sort of area. You go and try to talk to people, but you're much too terse and direct that they almost immediately try to get out of conversations with you by
Why
deflecting.
would anybody be looking for anything so lively? Hold you by the throat, you uncouth cretin. Sorry, I had to do that.
Okay, you know you making me saying doing it like that makes
and-
me want to just do a fellowship to not try to punch him in the face.
And
But no.
while you're
You most certainly
mostly-
can. If you would like to do that,
You
you
can.
may certainly go ahead.
No, I think it would be able to keep his cool enough. I guess it's just like light insults. If it was like any more, then he probably would.
And while you do not get anything direct, you at least know that there are, at least in your travels around, given what you're doing, there are theaters and restaurants around the place. Most of what's up here in the Upper Hive is more luxurious. There's hardly anything that's actually work-related aside from a few crafts workshops.
All right.
All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, so Gums was doing the same thing as John, where he was interviewing a few of the local populace for information. He was trying to ask for more popular areas for like the more rowdy persons, like such as bars or whatnot. Oh, that.
I think it'd be something similar to what I rolled.
Yeah.
Inquiry Fellowship base.
Ouch.
Due to your stature as a mutant,
True.
as an abhuman rather, people will not be as receptive to you in this sort of instance, especially as you're talking to more highborn people.
So that's with a modifier, that's without a modifier, that's just people not talking to me in general.
No modifier. That'd be Inquiry Fellowship, no modifier.
Oh, wow.
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 Huh? He rolled a 9. And he hits 45.
Damn.
Yeah, right?
Flexed.
He's very communicative.
Question. Does Gums have a
no teeth?
Level
Let's
1
see.
inquiry?
Wow.
He's able to find out some information because people find him adorable. With his I heart the Emperor on it.
He got a 3.6 success. Jeez.
Wow. Okay, so you do actually figure out you're just that charming. There's something about you that essentially kind of makes them think either you're adorable in some way, or you just had a right way with words, and you figured something out about a few parties going on around a few mansions, such as the governor, for instance, the governor of the planet, is holding them on occasion. You also find out about a bar that does in fact hold more uncouth individuals towards the more southern section of the hive. Gonna need to get a name for that one. It's slightly lower down in elevation, more towards the mid-hive, but it is still technically considered part of the upper hive.
Right, I'm thinking after some time of trying to get information, John and Gums would be back together to share what they learned.
Wait, repeat that? Repeat that?
I'm guessing after some time,
Yeah.
Me and you would join back together, share what we got.
Yeah.
As far as can hold some information about how this place runs and all that. Think about heading closer to the mid-hive, see more. That'll probably give us a bit more information down of hidden areas. If we can find those hidden areas, then we can keep a better eye around.
Yeah. The whole plan was to like look for bars and then ask. Yeah, like go to the bars and ask information there, because where else do you find good information? Let's be real.
Yeah.
You got rumors and drunk people. That's like
User
fountain of
disconnected
info.
from your channel.
Yeah. I suggest you grab someone else, since apparently I have a hard time trying to find this.
While you guys are doing that, let's go ahead and check off to some of the other party members. Was that. So let's say Mad Marker, and yeah, we'll go in order from there.
All right, I want to go through the clothes and see if we have any like robes or loose-fitting coats that could conceivably cover our flak armor.
Roll me a 1d20.
A D20, you said?
Yep, roll me a d20.
You looking for highs or lows? Probably lows.
Sure, you find a rope. It's magenta. It's not your color, but you find a rope.
Magenta rope.
Nice.
Does he look pretty?
What would you like to do with this rope?
I'm gonna put it on and see how well it covers the armor.
How muscular are you, Mad Marker?
I have a 34, so I'm gonna say probably slightly more than average.
Okay. It's a little tight in areas, but it at least visually covers up your armor. Your shoulders are a little bit bulging and it's tight in the shoulders. You probably are not going to be moving around a whole lot if you're wearing this robe. Not because it restricts your movement, but you're afraid that it may rip. And you may hulk out for a second.
Okay, I don't think that plan's gonna work then.
Okay. Would
He's
you like to do anything
literally
else?
ripped.
Not at this point.
Alrighty. Tiger, are you just messing with the servo skull?
I would like to get it to work, yeah.
Are you probing the servo skull? Okay. Give
Frank,
me a...
upon seeing. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Frank.
No, let him go. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, give me a tech use check while you're doing all that.
Let him do it. I'll wait after.
Right.
Oh boy. Oh, he breaks. No.
Okay, now here's the thing. I have like forfeit, and
We all do.
All have forfeit.
I mean I get it, but the point is I don't know how many to use. I kind of want to, you know.
You can
make
use
sure
one
to
for a
not
reroll.
break it. Well, it's a less, right? Please.
Okay,
break
so what
it.
were you trying to do?
He was trying to link his helmet feed with the eyes of the server.
Oh, that should be very easy for you to do.
Yeah.
I think you'd just be able to do it,
Right.
given the capabilities of your armor.
Just basic.
Oh, you just want to get
It's
a GM
literally
rolling for
plug
it?
and play.
Yeah, you just want to do a GM rolling for it? Oh yeah, we could just do a GM. It's a GM roll. That's fine.
All right.
We'll go ahead and say that you can do that because otherwise, the entirety of trying to integrate with this hive city is going to be very difficult.
Okay, so do I still use
Because
the
the space
fate point?
point's freaking conspicuous.
It's fine. No, you get your fate point back.
Oh boy, I get a servo skull. Ooh.
Yeah. So you can now say that your helmet cam is linked with the servo skull, so you can see through the servo skull's eyes.
Yay.
Meanwhile, Frank, what were you doing?
1 second.
He's masturbating.
No, that's heresy.
According to
It's
John
not
Mason,
heresy,
he
it's
might
not
be sleeping.
heresy, It's only heresy if you bump it up to 11.
The servo skull zooms in as I'm working on it. What are you looking at?
Frank.
Oh, jeez.
Anyways.
Okay, so Frank, upon being inspired by seeing someone find a magenta robe, decides to find a robe for himself.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a 1d20, please.
What are you guys, cultists? I'll get you
Apparently
one.
those two are.
Be one with the cultist.
Oh, did that not work?
Infiltrate the
Oh, because
cultists.
it's not exclamation point. My bad.
Sorry, it's slash
slash
d
like a
1d
cultist.
1d.
It's slash roll of spade. There you
Oh
go.
my god, I found a pink one.
Hot pink.
Damn it. He's right. How did nobody roll a 15?
Great.
15 is
Anyway,
great.
I'm just gonna pass this to who's the first person I see?
Give me a.
It's only gonna be.
Wait,
Keith.
who's
He's the only one
who's
in-
still downstairs?
It's the only person who's gonna be like Kaladin and Keith. Those are the only two.
Alright,
Yes.
I throw it at Keith.
Somewhere.
I'm done. I'm going back to fortifying. GG.
So Frank is messing with boxes that he has randomly found. He is fortifying this position.
Wait, what? What hit me in the face?
You got hit in the face by a pink robe.
Hot pink.
Yeah.
Toss
Do I
it-
roll for
toss
damage?
it back in the thing. Nice try.
A 1d1. He has more stuff than it.
Exactly.
All right. So Keith, you got hit in the face by a pink robe. Give me a 1d5 for emotional damage.
Oh jeez.
Two.
Psychic damage.
Psychic damage.
Your feelings are a little bit hurt. It's not your
Yes.
favorite color.
Yeah, Keith just kind of opens the closet that it came out of, throws it back in, then gets back to work.
All right, Keith, what are you doing?
Well, once I get done fortifying, at least on the obvious entry points, let's do a quick inventory of what we got inside. I mean, aside from food, water, clothing, what other supplies are there? Like outdoor stuff, ammunition supplies, anything like that?
Other than the food, water, and sustainment supplies that you find, all of your rooms seem to have, as you kind of go through the rooms, begin to notice that each room is actually designated for one person. However, you didn't really put this together until you got to a somewhat smaller room that had clothing specifically picked out for a particularly small humanoid.
Huh.
And then you begin to kind of put the pattern.
Wait, that's Vox's room.
Unfortunately, Vox went to sleep.
Shit.
Yeah, he's gone. He left.
I killed him in his sleep, I'm sorry.
You accidentally stacked too many boxes on him, and it broke the box.
Oh,
No,
dang.
don't say break, because I still need to talk to people on that thing. Fuck.
No, I didn't.
Broke a Vox, not the Vox.
Anyway,
You broke Vox's spirit. So yeah, you begin to kind of find rooms, and then of course you find a room with, rather large clothes, and you begin to kind of figure out, oh, this is probably for an Astartes, the only
Yeah.
Astartes of your party.
Are you having normal clothes?
As you go back
giant
down, and you see this hulking humanoid figure in heavy power armor, kind of keeping himself aloft on this very tiny chair, as he is like trying to mess with this super tiny servo skull compared to his size.
Why is this button so small?
so apparently we all get our own rooms. Do you want me to work out signs for each one or something?
Should we see if Tiger has a pink robe as well? Maybe he can hide himself in that and he won't need to use the
Tiger,
servo skull.
will you spend your time looking for a pink robe?
Specifically a pink robe. No
He
other
find-
color will do.
He finds magenta and pink, starts trying to stitch them together.
Guys, you're not gonna believe this, but I actually know where we can find a pink robe. I threw it at Keith.
I threw it in the closet over there. By the way,
Ah,
Frank,
shit.
you got any like extra pieces of whatever those boxes are made of? Want to try and make some signs for the rooms upstairs? Apparently, we each get one.
Oh shit, we each get a room? That's like a promotion.
Well, from enlisted to freaking officer.
From
So we're
enlisted
officers
to
now?
secret operative.
No,
So
From
who's like the
enlisted to
officer's
never
officer?
existing.
you got any flak board or something?
Okay, yeah, do we just take it off the wall?
I was talking about the boxes you're stacking.
Guys, I found stuff.
God damn it.
Cal, what are
What'd
you
you
doing
find?
right now?
I'm kicking back on the couch,
Okay.
Of course.
watching these
Inquisitor,
fucking fuckheads do whatever they do.
the interrogator is literally feet kicked up on the couch, while Baron is playing with a magenta robe.
Nice.
That's gonna go to shreds.
It will soon smell like R. Kelly's sheets.
Jesus Christ.
Let's not dwell on that too much.
Don't
Yes,
wear it or
not.
else you'll go into toxic shock.
Anywho,
Meanwhile, back at the back where the Inquisitor is located, Hituni, you find a servo skull waiting for you back nearby the Stormbird.
She approaches it and has a quick look at it. Is this one of the group or is this someone else?
The servo skull scans you, and Tech Priest, go ahead.
Tech Priest is dead.
I know. Hang on a second.
that explains the thing I saw on
It's his
Discord.
robotic voice in your neck.
Relax. Hold on, I'm just trying to get out of myself here.
Hi, Greg.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes? Ah.
Sorry.
Oh,
There you
must
go.
Be Inquisitor Hituni? Yes?
That would be correct. Who am I speaking to?
Ah, good. Yeah, I probably should introduce myself. I am Lord Inquisitor Eridanus. I am I've had a good bit of experience working with your current superior, the Lord Achilles. I heard there was more heresy going on in the subsector, and I happened to be in the area, so I thought I might provide some assistance.
And pray tell, what assistance are you going to provide, Lord Inquisitor?
Intelligence, perhaps eventually physical. I might. Excuse me. Sorry. No, I was going to perhaps eventually see if I could provide some of my own. Sorry, I'm this off the cuff stuff. I'm not good at this.
Gotta get used to it, man.
It's fine.
It's the first time for
No.
everybody. Don't worry about it. I'd probably stutter too.
You don't need to be formal with me. I'm currently alone in a hangar bay.
Fair point.
Oh, I've seen the beginning
Very well.
of this porno before.
Damn it. Fucking Liru, I was going to say that.
Wait, what?
Sorry,
How about
go ahead, guys.
Let
Go
us
ahead.
go.
Well, the formalities notwithstanding, I was informed that there was something going on around here, and basically I am bored of just touring around in my ship, so I thought, oh, why not help the Inquisition once more?
That's presuming you haven't already been helping.
Oh, well, yes. After all, my ship is in orbit and already maintaining surveillance of most of the possible ne'er-do-wells on this planet.
Well, if it's any consolation, it would be rather helpful if we can see that this, how do I say, infestation hasn't spread to the other hives.
Well, that is something I'm trying to figure out right now. I will admit that my contacts here are rather limited. My influence is more centralized in some of the other planets. But I'm probably about a pretty far distance away from where where most of my friends would be on the planet Stranomecti. But beyond that, well, I'm doing what I can, and so far it looks like I'm it might be centralized here, but it's... Well, I'm basing this on rather flimsy intelligence.
I see. Well, currently I have a team that should be getting situated if... I should have put biomarkers in all of them just to be sure of where they were at all times, but slips of the mind and all that. However, if I should need assistance, Lord Inquisitor, I will be sure to call for it. However, I'm not sure I will need it yet.
I understand. You have a datapad, yes?
I have one on me.
Understood. I'll push, I'll make sure to forward my contact code to you, so you can reach me on Vox, on my ship, or even by Combeat. If you do call on Vox, expect a female voice that might sound a little metallic. Long story short, well, actually no, I'll probably leave that to, actually, that's probably something I should...
It's alright, Lord Inquisitor, I know I'm not important enough for you to take messages from directly.
No, it's, let's just say it's dubious legality.
I see. Is there anything else you needed of me?
Let me think. Well, all I'd really ask is that you send Lord Achilles my regards, just because I want to make sure he knows that I'm in system and ready to help as necessary. And one last thing, just let him know that if he needs to, the Osirax is ready as well. That's what that means. You don't need to. Just you'll know.
Understood. Well,
beyond that, I have nothing further. So I shouldn't keep you any longer.
very well. I have my own business I need to take care of in this hive anyway.
I understand. Oh, a quick question. Did Lord Achilles happen to send his chaplain along?
He has, why?
Oh, wonderful. I'm sure the tiger hasn't gotten himself drunk on Fenrisian ale yet again. I had a brother... He had some time where I could barely talk to him because he was almost always passed out somewhere on Fenrisian ale. That was a rather interesting experience, so forewarning, that might happen.
Well, as far as I know on his biometrics, he hasn't gotten himself, for lack of a better term, shit-faced yet.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Alright, then I will leave you to your duties. So, pleasure to meet you. And I suppose we will speak again. I hope.
Until we meet again, then. May the saints bless you.
And may the Emperor be with you.
As we head back to... Oh, go ahead.
Nope, I had nothing else.
Cool. As we quickly move scenes back to Jackal and... Oh, I'm sorry. John.
Gums.
Yep, Johnny Gums.
Well done. I think we should head to one of these parties that should be able to give us some information that could be valuable.
We're in a party because you don't exactly blend in, and even do I. However, I have the name of a bar somewhere more in the southern ends of this hive called the Dancing Saint. I've heard there's more regards there in comparison to the rest of the more high-class population. If you're thinking I'm thinking, I think we can have much more reliable information from this bar.
Agreed. It will not give us much information about the low hive. It can give us some good, possibly give us some good information about upper and maybe some mid hive. Both of which can be quite valuable.
I can also keep my ear out for any sort of rumors.
Please do. These rumors, even if it's not that important, knowing the rumors going about can be helpful in guiding us to areas that we need to go. Whether the credibility is true or not is something else.
I fully agreed. And Gums will try to jump on the back of John. It's a bit of a walk, so you will have to carry me. You're only long legs.
Immediately, John just goes to grab him, just toss him to the ground.
Your long legs are very awkward.
Where is this happening?
This is a very good question. I'm trying to figure out where is this happening?
Where is this happening, guys?
No, this is after we...
I think somewhere like out of the way where people are not gonna really...
Are you in the house?
Pretty much, like after we just had a talk with people.
Yeah, are you in the safe house?
Most likely.
No, we're not.
I would say most likely because we would have wandered different directions.
Do I hear this small little sumbitch fall to the ground? Any of our glorious GMs? Do I hear that sumbitch fall to the ground?
Are you guys by the house?
They say they're in the house.
Oh, you guys are in the house.
Are we?
I mean,
yeah. Give me a check. Plus 10.
Yeah, to be honest, I would say we were back at the house because, like I was saying, we would have gone different directions, and that's probably the best place to have gone.
Passed out on the sofa.
Yeah. You guys all, well, those of you who are still down or in the area near the living room, you basically see Cal literally passed out. He is
asleep.
asleep.
Baron? Let's see. Let's find out.
Yeah. Give me a just. Would Baron be asleep or would Baron be
no? He was playing.
Shredding the
rope. He'd be playing.
Such is our leadership, apparently.
Got it.
All right. Yeah, he goes over.
Yeah. So Baron literally stops everything he's doing and begins, going towards the source of the sound, somewhat in a stalking manner. I would say that, like, since he's a very kind of domesticated jungle cat, he's still in play mode, and upon hearing the thud and all that, he would begin thinking that somebody else is ready to play with him.
Yeah.
User disconnected from your channel.
About how far away are you guys? Are you guys upstairs? Are you guys in the kitchen? Are you guys?
I mean, we would be like around the near the front door, so I'd say like the.
Okay, so you guys would be near like the foyer or something like that.
Yeah.
So, after a minute, give me a perception check. This one is going to be against Baron's stealth. Cal.
Oh boy.
Is it stealth or is it move silently? I can't remember which one it is.
Let's find out.
So many different systems. So many different systems.
Stealth.
There's a stealth roll down below operate.
Oh, we never did his upgrade for age.
I did do a couple of upgrades for him. Like, that's why he's all at 40s right now.
Yeah, okay, I was referring to skills.
Yeah, I haven't actually done much on the way of skills.
Gotcha. Okay, let's do it.
Alright, so perception versus stealth?
Yep, your perception versus Baron's stealth, whoever has the most amount of successes. Alright, so John, just before it actually happens, you catch sight of this large jungle cat stalking to you, and in mid-flight you see him as he is getting ready to pounce on you.
Right, so its gums in the way of being pounced on.
You would have to describe to me as to what's going on right now.
Well, let's see.
Good night, Don.
Don would just kind of like toss gum straight, like off to the side somewhere.
Off his back, or to the side.
Yeah, off his back. So, I think he would be like out of the way enough where it's just going to be going after John.
Okay.
So, seeing that this cat is jumping at him, he would try to dodge out of the way.
Alright. Roll me a success with a dodge check. Cal, roll me a...
oh boy.
Would it be like a weapon skill?
Yeah, it would be weapon skill.
Yeah, give me a weapon skill check.
I'm going down because 12. We're gonna go with 12
Nope.
or a 10. I mean, hey, it's worse than it's,
So
No.
Wow.
dude, it's agility, and I don't have
yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
here's what happens. You don't really manage to get out of the way, but Baron also doesn't really do that much of a pounce. Baron's in play mode. Baron saw you guys roughhousing and decided that he wants to roughhouse too. He's bored. There's not much for him to do. And so basically in mid pounce, he falls short and on the clean slick floor ends up just like sliding into you. Mind you, this is like a 60-pound. Well, about how heavy? About how heavy is a tiger? Does anybody know that?
I can look.
They're
it up
like
quickly.
200 pounds.
Okay, so yeah, so this is like easily like 170-pound
300 to
massive
600
muscle. Yeah, massive muscle that starts
200 to
sliding.
900.
Yeah, that's starting to slide right into you.
Okay, so sweep the legs. Got it.
So no, it's not so much as like you're gonna sweep his legs because he's like in
No,
like
no,
a
no,
ball.
he's sweeping John's leg.
Oh yeah, he's gonna run right into you.
Yeah.
And because you didn't successfully dodge, you also tumbled to the ground. However, you're now covered in pyrocat fur. Go ahead and roll me a toughness check. This one is at a -10 because it is completely covering you. As you basically tumble over Baron as he falls right into you.
God damn it.
Did
And
I
you
accidentally
begin-
start something, trying to grind it under a man's back?
And you really begin to feel really nauseous.
God damn it, stupid fucking cat.
And now Baron, recovering from his fall, looks at you and, as happy as a jungle cat death machine can look, looks kind of playfully like he's ready to play.
Well, and then John just like feeling like groggy now because of the fur, and pissed off. He's groggy and he's pissed. Not
Yeah.
pissed enough. Yeah. God fucking God. Hey, do you know if we have this Medicaid somewhere?
You could get to a hospital.
You can go to a hospital if you want.
Yeah.
I don't think no. There's not a single Medicaid in this entire squad. You
I know
guys are
there's
Nope.
screwed.
There is no medic in the squad.
Yeah, I realized
So
that
screwed.
yeah, exactly. I noticed that too. In session 1, it's like, fuck.
Hey, Jackal, is your mic gain up excessively high? Because you're coming off a little too strong on my end.
Well, you probably want to turn me down because, well, I tried to turn down my mic as best I could without,
His mic is
Without-
il pupo.
I think he's using a laptop mic.
no, I'm using, it's just a really sensitive
The
mic.
mic is il pupo.
Anyway,
Yeah, whatever.
I fixed it. Sorta.
You could see if there's like a PDF station nearby that you could borrow the Medicaid of.
Yeah, like, you just go to, like, the nearest, like, medical station.
Okay.
Because like
give me before you do that. Give me an intelligence check with like a plus. Yeah, I'll say plus 20. I'll be nice.
Oh boy.
Plus 20.
Watch me fail this.
Nope.
Hey, actually succeeded.
He says that he succeeds.
You managed to remember Regimental Sergeant Major McNull suffering from the same condition, and him grumbling about something about the cat fur.
Almost nothing went through this. Something similar. Great.
Am I done with the service school, by the way?
Yeah, you'll be done by the service school.
Do I see this happen?
Give me we'll say this a retcon perception check. Straight perception.
No.
Nah, you actually focus on other things. Humans bore you.
Okay. I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually incapacitated someone.
There you go.
So Spart, you see all this happen as you're thrown out of the way of this sliding pyre cat. And you see Jackal getting up, slightly nauseated. Yeah.
Whoops.
Wait, Gums, tell the sergeant I'm gonna go to nearby clinic or something.
Yeah, I'll do that. You have fun with the cat, the fur thing.
I'll see what I can get. And then, like, John goes outside trying to find, like, a nearby hospital clinic or something.
It's not hard to find. You're in the upper hive. Beyond the fact that most of the houses have their own house Medicaid, there is a small clinic that services some of the local houses. I will, for the sake of brevity, I'm going to go ahead and just narrate this. You go in, the Medicaid, and again they do just like they did with McNull. They basically do some diagnostics on the fur, find out that it's a pyre cat fur. Pyre cat fur has some sort of toxin that interacts with human biology and causes a number of different symptoms, anywhere from headaches, nausea, to severe vomiting and fever, depending upon the length, duration, and all that to the fur itself. Of course, usually there can be a natural immunity built up over time with the fur, but that's over the course of months. A fairly easy way to remedy most of the symptoms, other than just time, just wash the fur off of you, scrub the skin thoroughly, and usually within 12 hours most of the symptoms will have dissipated.
Alright, you would thank whoever's been working on it for helping him out, and then head back. Make sure that everyone knows, like, hey, he's gonna be alright. Or is this gonna take him some time before he can go back out?
It's not severe enough to completely hinder you from doing stuff. You just really feel sick to your stomach.
Okay, then never mind then.
You have a really bad headache and you just feel gross for the whole day. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, weekdays. Yeah, I work 10 hours on weekdays, so yeah.
Yeah. You return back and, with that information. Meanwhile, Mad Marker, Exorcist, what you guys up to?
Go ahead, Mad Marker.
I'm gonna complain that they give me 2 autocannons but not a Medicaid.
Indeed. I guess it would be good time. You guys should have gotten a Medicaid.
Yeah, we really never discuss together what we're grabbing.
Who needs squad coherency?
Honestly, I didn't realize Frank was going to be joining us.
When you have 2 autocannons.
It's racist.
Frank, what are you doing, by the way? Oh. Thanks, Mark.
Shit.
Taking a nap.
That's it.
Good answer.
All right,
I went to the bathroom for all this time. This is the first time.
Well,
I
I
used
was
the
I was
toilet
helping
with-
fortify, but if there's nothing else, then I guess chilling.
It's a very open world. What would you like to do?
Who wishes to accompany me to
In
your
before,
body's
I will-
headquarters?
I'll accompany you, Tiger. Sure.
Hey,
Tiger, what are you doing?
I was actually gonna, because I wanted some information, and basically what I'm planning to do is go to the Arbites, ask them about like where I might be able to find somewhere in the lower hive that is frequented a lot, like a bar, and have a servo skull set up outside to watch for signs of heretics or mutants to see if I can see like.
I feel like
if
we just
any
did
of
this
the cults,
already.
you know,
Yeah.
but more video proof, you know. Like servo skull could follow them back potentially.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I was gonna like send the Arbites headquarters or whatever I'm going like a message saying an Adeptus Astartes coming to visit with like a retinue of guardsmen. I'm gonna ask people, hey, who wants to come with me? You gotta put on your good looking straps, and arms.
Okay.
Or maybe just see if they can have an Astartes issue servo skull follow him around for a while.
I have Breezy's one for me. I'm actually gonna ask for extra, but I have Breezy's for now.
Anyway,
I think you should roll for that, Achilles.
Yeah, Toonie, yeah, I was gonna ask. How do you think we should roll for that?
4?
The servo skull.
I mean,
It'd be fairly easy.
I
like-
never did anything to it, Achilles. It is the same
I know.
damn servo skull I got.
it's basic.
Yeah.
Basic service skulls are just usually used for surveillance anyway. Like pick
So,
like pick
If he's
Well-
going to make a roll, it's going to be a plus 60.
Well, remember that it's got a. Hold on. Where are you?
Because he's probably done this before once or twice or 3 times.
It has an auger and an illumination attachments to it.
So it's just a basic servo skull. Yeah, it should be fairly easy, which is why I say like plus 60.
So what does this roll for?
If you want him.
gather information.
Oh, okay.
That Hatuni.
If that's the case, 40. But you may realize why.
Oh wait,
you
gather
fail
information is
or
not actually
succeed.
skills. Okay.
It's inquiry.
Yeah. It'll be inquiry with a plus 40.
Okay.
What sort of inquiry?
Yeah. What kind of
Is there-
information are you specifically looking for?
I'm looking for if like people that have signs of heretical influence are coming and going in the
Thanks, Tech Priest.
lower hive or like certain areas particularly.
Yeah,
So like
that's very specific.
So. And how are you trying to gather this information?
well I asked I was gonna ask everybody, so like where is the most frequented place in lower hive, and just put the servo skull outside of somewhere with a lot of foot traffic to see if I can find anyone that has like markings that wouldn't be just regular mutants that just happen to show up in lower hive. More like chaos based and stuff. No marks of the cult. What did you guys find out, by the way, when you went over and talked to people?
They never actually divulged that information.
Yep.
So we found like a nice hot spot of where we can get some information from.
Oh.
Yeah, but we never talked about it. I see with the rest of you, I think. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly what Tiger's doing.
Yeah.
It's really exactly what you're doing.
I could
If he's
just
gonna-
put the servo skull there then.
I mean, it's better to have more eyes around.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if you guys tell me, then I could probably just put it there for surveillance.
I mean, I'm probably on my way back, so that'll be a gums call.
Yeah, it would be a gums call, wouldn't it? Oh. Yeah, basically, Gums was already planned to go to that one bar, and with John being accidentally put out of commission,
Temporarily. He's coming
temporarily out of commission by a rabid cat, he'll probably go look to the rest of the squad in that one room they were in, which was the living room, I believe. And basically try to look for some volunteers to go with him.
Ah, heck, I'll go.
I'll go as well. I imagine we should probably leave our armor and most of our weapons here.
It's
A
recommended.
giant autocannon might be a little suspicious.
You think?
Bang, 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 bang.
Actually, if you guys are going to the CD bar, then I could just bring the service school with you and try and find out extra service schools to put in places for surveillance. Because I need at least one to watch out on what you're doing in case you need backup, you know?
Fine with me.
A wise idea, Water Sarties.
Unless you think that you'd be fine just saying it on the convey. But I should probably use my own intuition with the service school to see if you actually need help.
Would we be able to disguise Tiger as a really good-looking Ogren?
I sincerely doubt it, and frankly, I wouldn't insult the chaplain like that.
If you say that out loud, I wouldn't enjoy that. But, let alone possibilities.
I'm here to get the punch to the face.
We could find out how stealthy a Stardies can actually be.
To be fair, trained and without the power armor, it's like better, I guess. Because you know you get minus stealth for being in the hulking power armor, but if you're just trying to blend in, you still get minus. Never mind.
Don't try it. Don't try it. It's gonna go past you.
Yeah, agility isn't very good. No. Probably minus 10.
Yeah, minus 10, minus 20.
People may view you as a large mutant.
Yeah. Yeah, let's not do that, alright?
Yeah. I really keep these in his armor.
Alright. So
that's what the servo skull is for.
Who all is going to the nightclub?
Yours truly
will be going
walking out as a usual kid for whatever half decent pants and shirts are around.
I mean, there's some decent pants and shirts that will help you guys blend in with the local populace. It's nothing too fancy, but at least you won't look like your guardsman.
He says as he hides the last pistol and bayonet.
Yeah.
Frank,
this is all happening in the front.
Are you going to partake in a nightclub?
What are the other options?
I mean, anything you can think of, really.
Whatever you want to do. The big point right now is that you guys are gathering information about where you should direct your investigation.
Would John be back at this point? Because I'm fairly certain it would be close by and wouldn't take too long.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the question?
Would John be back when they're discussing on how many people are going? Because
I'm gonna go ahead and GM that. That's already going on. Like you got back. Everybody is kind of getting back at around the same time, and you're all kind of getting this information that you should probably head off to this particular nightclub, as these people tend to be okay with the seedier populace of the mid and upper hive.
If only you could hide a last gun.
I mean, you can.
We have last pistols and bayonets.
You can totally try to bring a las gun with you. Don't know how well it's gonna go, but you can totally try.
Would our servo skull be out
Okay,
of
so
space?
you're saying you want to hide a las gun?
Yeah. I'm saying that's gonna be like very hard for me.
How much do you just want to look like you have a stick up your ass?
Hey man, I will tell you, Wonder Woman hid a sword in the back of her dress somehow. So I don't know how the fuck he could do it, but he could do it.
I don't want to say anything, but
he got himself. He could just have act out like he has a stiff leg.
Well, we still have another robe.
That is true.
So you wear that like a dress.
Yeah.
Just wear really baggy pants, put it in one leg, and say it's cybernetic. But really poor cybernetics, so it can only stay straight.
No. Leg brace, man. Leg brace.
Ah, there you go. You broke your leg, put a leg brace in before it's just actually a lasgun. You stuck to your leg.
I'm sticking with the last pistol. That's just too.
Hey,
I'm going
But the lasgun leg brace. You got the magenta hood to cover it up and everything.
I'm crap at talking with people. You tell it. I'm crap at talking with people, so you can already tell that's not gonna work. Last pistol it is, and actually, I want to. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Oh well, too late now.
So we're all going to the Dancing Saint.
So,
And I shall
after
give
about
you the
maybe
service
around
call.
15 minutes of all of you guys getting changed, Frank, are you going with them or are you doing something else?
Yeah, I'm going with him.
Okay.
Everyone's going. We'll call it in.
So,
I'm going.
Oh, I'm going. I woke up. I rolled for it.
Chaplain, as you are kind of just sitting back and you're, collecting your own thoughts for about 15 minutes, you see a whole bunch of humans now dressed in regular stuff. Regular garments. Things that you really don't see all that often. All attempting to conceal weapons left or right.
I shall go up to them. I shall tell them. Before you go out,
Yeah.
keep this with you, and I shall just have the servo skull float next to them.
You guys are now accompanied by a servo skull.
I'm assuming that this is going to be your eyes.
Yes, it is what I shall use to be in the area without actually requiring my presence. Should something go wrong, I shall make my way to you, but what is exactly your mission, if you don't mind?
But what we're trying to
Just a
do
little
is
intel gathering, that's all.
Right.
nothing fancy. Get some information we could possibly use and go from there.
Just make sure the service code does not get damaged.
Good try. No
I'll go
guarantees.
back to where I was going. Wherever I was just before.
Alright. So, for this, Petuni, if you want to describe their lead up and what they'll see once they approach the nightclub.
So, as you guys make your way down into the slightly more pungent areas of the Middle Hive, it's not the worst place you've seen. It's more conducive to what your conditions were on the ship. A little bit more cramped, but not quite so. And you make your way to the location marked as the Dancing Saint. Outside of this club, as the structure reaches into the ceiling of this section of the hive, you basically see an icon of... I'm actually going to ask that all of you make a common lore Imperium check plus 30, or if you have scholastic lore ecclesiarchy or something similar to that, of plus 60.
I know my
Oh,
things.
dang it.
What about the underworld?
Sadly, that would not help here.
Shit.
You're not in the underworld yet, Freezing.
I'm always.
Really in mid-high.
You never
So-
leave the underworld, Achilles. I'm always in the underworld.
So, Frank and Gums, you see a figure that rather, it slightly betrays the innocence of one of the Imperial Saints. However, you specifically, John Mason, recognize this figure to be representative of Saint Celestine in a more debauched and less than pleasant manner. And below this iconography in neon lighting and what have you is a small line and a bouncer with red velvet barricades, essentially, to keep people in a line.
Hey, Breeze, where's Baron during all this? Where's Baron during all this?
Your big tiger.
With me.
Is he being left at the house, or is he going with you?
Oh, he's going with me.
I just have to know that for something
Oh,
else.
that's okay. No worries.
We really have to bring the cat into this.
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone he touches is immediately gonna start coughing.
Either that, or we're gonna come back to a piss-filled house.
I'll admit, it's probably better we come.
Have fun trying to get that past the bouncer.
I mean, if we need to escape, we can just throw cat hair at everyone and they'll throw up.
Okay, fair point there.
Alright. I'm sorry, continue, please keep going.
What do you guys do?
Oh, no trying to force a way through. We're just gonna have to wait in this line until we can get through.
Alright.
Or I can talk to him.
You really think
Do you want to go try to talk to the bouncer?
you can go try Gums, but most likely we're gonna have to get back in line. Unless you can somehow pull another miracle with talking with people.
Okay, Gums goes to talk to the bouncer to get a skip in.
Alright. So, I have one specific question. Would you like to just try to roll for it? Or do you want to try to
Roleplay it out.
get your way around with words?
There's a dog bark in my background, so I'll have a roll for it.
User was moved to your
Okay.
channel.
So, given your stature as a mutant, an abhuman, yeah, abhuman, and given that you're in the middle hive, you're actually going to be a little bit more accepted here. Can you make me a... How are you trying to get yourself up to the front of the line? With a
Smooth talking, basically.
Alright. Make a charm test flat.
Charm test and what?
Just flat.
There's no.
charm.
Yeah.
No bonuses.
Right.
Ooh, that did not work at all.
Get to the back of the line, runt.
Gums clicked his tongue and goes back to the line. Well, that did not work as quite as I thought it would.
Went about as well I expected.
It could have been worse.
That is true.
He could have punted you down the street.
Could have called me the N-word equivalent for rattling.
So, it takes roughly 10 minutes to actually get to the front of the line. As short as it had been, some of the people caused arguments up front that are hardly conducive to what you're doing. And when you get to the front, you are presented with the bouncer, who begins to ask, "Identification and weapons, please."
Hey, so John is going to, of course, give him his identification, but at least attempt to hide his last pistol.
All right.
And we're gonna.
All right, go on in. Next. Who was next in line?
I'm gonna give the bouncer my ID and my last pistol, but I'm gonna keep my combat knife hidden.
All right.
Hey, he would rather.
He frisks you, and he doesn't seem to find your knife. All right, next.
Frank goes up, shows ID. Frank didn't bring any weapons.
He does frisk you, but he doesn't find anything, so he allows you through.
Did he say no homo?
Please.
No homo.
Please.
I love how Achilles and I said something like that at the same time.
Boo boo.
Does Frank need to roll for arousal?
Boo boo.
No, because
you
Frank
can if you want to.
Frank has bulging ooh biceps, so he has to hear no homo or else it's bad.
Bad touch, bad
All
touch.
right, so who's next in line?
All right. Keith's up, and well, frankly, he's gonna at least try to hide both, but put more emphasis on hiding than bayonet. With
He
the idea,
frisks you and grasps around your las gun, and as he goes down, he also finds your knife. I'm afraid we can't have that, sir.
Right.
You're gonna have to leave these at the front. Don't try to hide them again.
Fair enough. That's the weapons on
Yeah.
whatever counters nearby.
You'll get those
and then
back
heads in.
after you leave, if you come back
Thank
this
you.
way.
Gums now steps forward with his ID and a wide grin. No doubt. He looks at the guard cheekily.
Oh boy. Did you bring anything?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so he stares right down at the rattling and says, "All right, step onto the chair," as he pulls one up from the table beside him.
Comes to the chair.
What?
He's not gonna bend over just to check you.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Gum looks at the chair and give a long sigh.
All right, and he begins to. First of all, ID, you fucking. He apprehends himself before continuing.
Gums with a bro handing his ID over.
All right.
It's a bit racist, you know? I'm human just like you.
Sure you are. And are you going to make an attempt to hide? Do you have any weapons to hide?
He doesn't.
No.
All right. He frisks you, doesn't find anything, and it goes on to, I believe, Caledon. Does it?
So we got Caledon and the sergeant.
Sergeant will go first.
Okay,
Matt
Sergeant.
already went.
Oh yeah, he already went.
Oh, never mind.
Then it's Caledon.
I'm gonna walk up
With this cat.
with my cat, very high and mighty.
Sir,
I'm wearing my nicest robes.
I don't think you can bring that in.
What does that mean, that?
The cat, sir.
The cat? This cat is worth more than your entire house, family, life, and everything you have ever owned, your children will ever own, and their children's children's children will ever own. He comes in, or I will... Not no buts, no. He is as much a guest to this party as I am.
Wait, what's his name?
The guy who's talking?
Yeah.
That's Caledon.
Okay.
But the rules say that.
The rules can kiss my furry ass.
Furry, sir.
That's
Caledon's
correct.
a furry, what?
Caledon very confirmed.
Now, unless you want to take it up with him, and I'm going to point to Baron, we shall be entering. Thank you.
All right, make an intimidation. I'm not sure. This would be a fellowship one, technically.
You can't roll as fellowship.
Yeah.
Strength or willpower?
Do willpower for your
That one
fucking
fits better.
poker face. And add a plus 10. Actually, plus 20.
Because Baron.
Jesus Christ.
It's not a crit success, but it won.
Holding his composure, and he's right away, sir. And he doesn't even check you, and he just
Baron-
allows you through.
Baron literally looks at him and fucking cocks his head and growls.
Like he, no questions asked. He has let you through without ID or checking you.
Ooh, that's actually kind of useful.
I'm
Out
gonna
of 10,
I'm gonna tip my hat.
Oh, but Silver Skull. That's
Does he check the server soul too?
Nah, I mean, if you didn't check anything else on him.
I think he was too busy pissing himself.
Yeah, I think the Silver Skull will just sneak by him. With
Let's say the Servo Skull one is following
It probably would
Cal
be
for the
yeah,
time being.
I mean, it would be with the higher
So-
ranking member.
He didn't really pay any mind to the Servo Skull. Nobles have those around the place, so. As you guys enter through the establishment's somewhat large and spacious doors, You are met with a rather thick aroma of alcohol, incense, and a little bit of musk from the denizens within. You are met with a just avalanche of senses hitting you, lights, even a little bit of a feeling of warmth from the bodies within the room. And as you head a little bit through the antechamber at the start, you get into the proper. Sorry, I'm finding words.
Take time.
Can't find words in a dictionary.
Into the club proper. And upon multiple tables around the place, with many shows going on, you see women performing dances and many more seedy individuals tossing gelt up and above. I want you guys to make a quick check of perception or awareness plus 30 to get a rather quick idea of where everything is.
The perception plus 30?
Yeah.
I just barely made that.
All right. So
say that one more time, Attorney.
awareness and perception, awareness or perception plus 30. Whichever you have better.
Please stop that, Tiger.
And
Sorry.
It's basically to figure out where everything is as you guys are just assaulted by your senses. So, Mad Marker and Frank, you two are just absolutely lambasted by this place. You've never seen anything like it in your lives before, in your regimented and militaristic lifestyles. And this goes to show that it is almost an alien world to you. All you see are people and dancers all around, the bodies flowing through as if water. It's rather disorienting, to say the least. However, the rest of you, Keith to a lesser extent, get an idea of where the bar is, where the back rooms are, restrooms, and for Caledon, you see a few exits in case you need to get out. So there's a bar, there are the tables, there's a small little restaurant area, and that's basically most of it.
Right, I suggest that we just spread out and get us our ears about this place.
With the research that I performed through my network up on the ship, does anyone look like a big player or anything like that? Any kind of wanted people, or just people of I know who these people are, kind of thing?
I believe that's an Achilles question now.
His network. So Breezy, like I told you back on the ship, your network was. Yeah, you still have yet to actually set up your network.
Well,
the information
does anyone look like the individuals that he found out about?
Yeah, like
so you didn't like I said, you didn't find out about any individuals. You saw police reports and
that's the top 10 most wanted, things like that.
Things like that. That's really what you
That's what I'm asking.
Here, let's do a percentage roll. You don't see any top 10 most wanted here. Though there are some kind of how to say this. You do see a number of individuals of upper hive nobility that are like heirs and heiresses to local, fortunes. Of those individuals, you can see they're basically like the very stereotypical, nobility of a hive, where the children are strangely wild because they have no cares in the world and have no responsibilities, and a near limitless source of funds in which to blow. Many of them are extremely intoxicated. And that's what you do to identify.
I'm gonna go just start hanging out, buying them drinks, getting to know them, listening, setting the groundwork.
All right. What's everyone else doing?
John is going to go to area that seems to have the most amount of people and try to catch wind of anything.
So you head up towards one of the tables with the dancers, where there's nearly a crowd around this place, if not for the spacing between the tables. And you get yourself seated at a semi-empty table, and let me just very quickly... The occupant doesn't seem to notice you, or if they have, they've at least ignored your presence as you sit down. And I want you to make me a awareness or perception check plus... Actually, this will be a -10. It's a very loud area. And it's kind of hard to fix anything out.
Yeah, that's what I expected. Jesus Christ.
I'm afraid you're having a lot of trouble picking out any conversations in this area. There are, if you were to count, there's over 100 people in this place.
Jeez, reminds me of me, IRL.
Yeah, apparently this out of combat is not my strong suit, apparently.
All right, anyone else?
You do carry an autocannon.
Gums will go to a more quiet, less occupied corners of the bar and tries to listen on conversations there.
All right, another creep. Okay, I want you to make a perception check.
Hi, Maria. Names
+10. While it's a little bit quieter, it is still very loud as the music is blasting throughout the area. It's like a sort of techno gothic sort of idea.
That is most
where
+10, you said?
+10.
Yep.
Ah, crap, we're in freaking Shadowrun.
So you actually do pick up on a bit of something. You hear about one of the upper hivers running a bit of a trade deal, an arms deal, in fact, down in some of the lower portions of the hive with some, what he states to be seedy individuals. However, given the nature of this place, not all the details are able to be picked up.
Sorry.
And it could mean basically anything.
So I found out nothing.
But you found something. It's just
Well,
a matter of
something.
is it useful?
Yeah.
Alright, who else?
Keith's gonna... Well, I was gonna try and find a quiet corner to watch from, but apparently Gums kind of beat me to that, so...
We can find a different corner.
Yeah, it's the action's already taken. So Keith's is just gonna do visual recon from one of the more public areas. Walks up to the bar, orders a drink of something not too strong. Pays for it the best he can. That's a good question, actually. Hey, who's in charge of the budget again?
Notes.
It's written on the thing.
Am I nearby this?
We had 5,000 thrones from the beginning,
But do you have any on you?
No.
Thrones are a physical currency.
Just say yes.
I suppose so.
How many?
Obviously not 5,000.
If you brought all 5,000.
Geez, money bags over here.
He fits in just right.
Frank has 33.
You know what? That's actually a good idea.
Just roll for it. Run a single throw.
Roll a D100.
88.
All right,
What
that
does a
should be
single
enough
drink
to.
cost?
So, you're going to get something like Amasec, right? How good of a quality do you want it?
I got it.
Let's make it nothing too pants crapping, but at the same time, not too bad. So we'll go middle of the road and only one glass at the moment.
That'll be 20 throne guilt. So.
All right, so the bartender, as you can see, is a rather it's a somewhat stocky man, well dressed and well cut. He speaks with a rather strange accent that isn't really too conducive to the area. It could be that he's trying to put up an act. It could just be from his dialect, but he does ask, and do you pay him for the Amasec?
And Keith kind of just sets the payment on the counter, scoots it towards him slowly.
Oh, well.
Just need to...
That should do it nicely. So, what are you doing here? He
What do you
says
want?
he gets a glass and pours it for you.
As Keith is just lazily looking around the place, takes a quick sip, just on your own business.
Oh, on business, what's up?
Let's see, I think it was I'm pretty sure my boss is over here on layover, so to speak. Just one stop of many. Can't exactly recall what exactly doing, but unarmed security, let's call it.
Oh, really now? Well. Oh, I had a name for this guy. My name's Ephesius Marcella.
Baron von Dicknuts.
Pleasure to meet you. He waits for you to say your own name.
Garrett.
Just Garrett?
Just Garrett.
All right, just Garrett. Well, if you need anything, I'm going to be just at the bar. Just ring me up and I can come talk or give you something.
Appreciate the offer. Thank you. Takes another sip.
All right, and he goes and attends to the other people at the bar for now.
And just for the visual recon, should I roll a perception?
For the visual recon perception, as it's a very crowded place, minus 10.
Oh, with the 30 perception, this is not going to end well.
Hey, this get. Oh, you broke even.
Well,
that's actually a lot better than I expected.
It's
I mean, compare that
it's
to
a
mine.
nightclub. What you can't really. So, what were you looking for?
50 characters, mostly.
Well,
things that didn't set specifically out of place.
Well, you don't see anyone that's too out of place. This seems like a mix of an upper and mid-hive sort of joint.
Yeah.
You know, you see a few people that are obviously not wanting it to be known that they're here, but you can't really tell if they're just trying to hide their identity from the nobles so they're not seen in a certain light, or just shifty overall.
In other words, we got people that don't want to know that they're there, so to speak.
Yeah, which could mean anything with them.
Yeah. Well, at least I got a decent glass of Amasec out of it.
All right, who's next?
Galadon?
I'm sitting with some of them Richie folks, getting to know them, all that.
All right.
Buying them drinks and such.
Okay, I'm going to ask that you make a charm test plus 20. How much are you spending on, how much are you spending on Amasec and whatnot?
How much was it for each one?
For a decent bottle, nothing too amazing, is 20 thrones.
What's the amazing one?
How much?
How much is the amazing one?
Achilles, how much is a good or best quality Amasec?
A good quality Amasec is roughly 30 to 35 throne gilt, depending upon what kind of planet you're on. Hive worlds, I would guess it's probably closer to 30 to 32. A best quality Amasec can be up to 80 throne gilt, depending upon its aged, if it's aged or not aged, as well as the actual quality of the liquor within, and alcohol content. For this particular establishment, I would say a best quality Amasec would probably be worth 50, while a good quality Amasec will be probably somewhere around 32.
I put the 32 in.
All right. Let's add. So you're just doing one bottle?
For now.
All right. Just add a plus 10. Aside from any other bonuses you might have.
Dang.
Well,
They are fucking taking their pants off.
damn if you got in their pants. You can actually get a few more people than were originally there. You're essentially sitting on almost a throne of decadence as you
Can I
attract
go a little
people to
bit?
your position.
I want to be telling the story about Baron and how we came to be and all that. And
Do you?
yeah.
All right.
Because he's going to be there. We'll be playing off each other. Talk about how we killed some big monsters. And how we've been fighting, like, all these crazy creatures and shit like that.
Well,
Not
you
going
actually
into
end up-
inquisitorial stuff, but just in badassery.
All right. So you definitely gain the attention of some of the more adventurous youths from the upper hives. And they almost seem kind of jealous, but amazed that they've met such a person. And some of them are even like trying to ask if, or even act like they've known you.
Nice. I'm gonna have them tell stories. I'm gonna try and direct the conversation towards like particular things they've seen, shady shit, any like weird things happening. I'm just gonna try and like have them tell stories, trying to quote best me about things that are happening here on the hive. I'm gonna try and direct the conversation that way.
Well, as you do that, some of them are slightly put off, but they're not really all too concerned about it right now. A bunch of them go remissing tales of how they've gone to the lower hive and kind of beat the shit out of people, kind of trying to act like they're own badasses in some way. And one of them even states that one of their friends has kind of gotten himself involved in a little bit of tricksy things that probably would get everyone in this room killed if it was said about too much. And some of the people kind of ogle at that.
Even the servitor? Servo's fault?
I'm gonna take note of who this is, and
All right.
I think the Servos should keep an eye on them.
So this is an obviously an upper hiver who, from what you can tell, hasn't been through a lot himself. He just knows a guy, and he wasn't telling anything too much.
Gotcha.
But essentially, he's like a shortcut, trying to look suave guy in some rather fancy clothing. The clothing is a little bit more foreign and of Xeno material, but that's not really an offense at all, so it's not a big deal. But it goes to show some of the wealth of this guy's family.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, that's it for me now. When I have the service go keep track of him.
Oh.
All right. Is there anyone else who's doing anything in the bar? Frank?
I mean, I'd probably be listening to these stories and taking notes from people too.
Is there anything that you want to do, Frank?
Nah, I don't want to spend money.
You guys have 5,000 throne guild. I gave you quite a bit.
Right, but to waste our boss's money on drinks is a bad idea.
It's not necessarily
It's a
wasting
business
use it.
expense.
Let's have his
Sounds
uses.
like
I'll make that.
heresy.
Is that how you feel? I see, though.
Okay. You don't necessarily have to also spend money either. So.
I know, I'm just listening, taking
Open up a
notes.
tab, never close it.
Yeah, right. All right, I'm gonna do this while there's a quick lull in the action. Tiger, while you're sitting there observing things through the eyes of the server skull, you hear at the door.
Are there cameras on this place?
No, but you do have Presence built into your helmet visor, so.
And a freaking bolt pistol to blast through the door.
That's also
That
true.
is- Yeah.
One of us through the door.
You're the only one at the door right now, or you're the only one at the house right now.
I'm just looking at what Presence is. Okay, so I'd like to see what this person looks like.
Okay, there's no need for a roll for that. By using Presence, you're able to see a thermal signature that closely resembles the silhouette of a Astartes, with a number of accoutrement sticking off of the armor itself. Looks like some sort of a lamp, as well as some sort of a very pointy appendage off of the arm.
All right, I know who this is. I'm gonna open up the door.
Before you stands the bloodied but dry visage of the apothecary for your phalanx.
Greetings, brother.
Falcon, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Say again.
It's you.
Okay. Before
New
Tiger
phone it is.
stands a apothecary Rockin. Apothecary Rockin wears a standard Mark 7 armor. The common you'll see with the dull white, the usual helix and wings, the normal apothecary armor you'd see on many apothecaries. Of course, on his left shoulder is the wonderful symbol of the Myrmidon Legion. All of the armor, which is usually uncommon, is a lot of dried blood and other known chemicals, showing kind of a lack of care towards the armor, a lack of cleaning, which you can only assume may piss off many tech priests.
Greetings, brother. I see your armor is as dirty as usual.
Yes, Brother Chaplain. It's been a long time since I have seen you.
What brings you to this safe house?
Well, as you would know, nothing much can bring me out of the apothecarium other than one person.
Amuse me. Who is this person?
Oh, you act like you don't know.
I just want to make you say it. But greetings, this is the safe house that the Inquisitor has bestowed upon the use of this mission.
Yes, I have heard you are without one talented in the medical aspect. May I come in?
You may very well. I don't believe that they have planned on you coming here, for you were probably selected after the initial recruitment. But I am glad another brother is here to accompany me on this mission.
Yes, brother. A little note, just for the other people, for future, so I don't have to re-say it. But the way the apothecary speaks, despite the normal vox kind of static, there's also another guttural rumbling, which almost sounds mechanic versus a normal voice. Our brother, it is glad that you are usually not welcome of me. For most situations I am here, it is usually dire.
That actually does bring me to my next point. Why have you been assigned to this mission in particular, if you do not mind me asking?
Well, between you and me, brother, I think the Lord Primarch just wants to get rid of me.
I would not say that, brother, for if this mission was just to get rid of you, then why would I be the one to be on this mission with these holy gods?
Well, Chaplain, I think you're the only person who can handle me and my problems, as one may quote.
I see. Well, brother, I'm sure that you will enjoy your time here as we complete our mission. For the meantime, if you wish, you can use the room that was specified for me to set up as your stay place, you know.
Alright. That sounds good, Brother Chaplain. I hope you do not mind my usual pet coming in.
Yes, you should probably make a place. I believe one of the guardsmen found a pink hood that the little creature might want to be able to use it as a little resting place, if you would so like.
Yes, I believe my raven would love that much so.
Currently, the guardsmen are on a mission to figure out more information on where this the hiding place of these heretics may be. I have sent a servo skull to accompany them, so they are not unguided. If you wish, I may be able to share with you the video feed.
That is fine. I might even send my raven out. He could do with some flying after being in that ship for so long.
Yes, I shall also send you the location. I will go back to watching the guardsmen and making sure they are safe.
You do so, Chaplain. I shall make myself at home with that little of a place this is.
Soon we shall cleanse this world of the heretics, and maybe we will be able to rejoin our brothers on the front line for the next great battle.
Indeed, Chaplain. Your words always are a guidance.
And I'll just go back to watching.
Well, Vulcan is going to make himself at home, slightly leaving, accidentally without meaning, a couple of little dried blood shavings which fall off the armor across the floor. Maybe a slightly, not fresh, but dried, but still somewhat wet, bloody footprints or handprints on the wall every now and then.
All right. Thank you for that. We'll head back. We'll move back over to the nightclub, and where the guardsmen are currently attempting to gather as much information as possible.
Frank's just chilling.
So as time progresses, people come in and out, and so sadly, over time, your story material does start to run out, Caledon. Given you have only so much you can tell. However, the establishment stays about as lively as it did when you came in, if not more so, given the stories that Caledon brought on. And such an interesting individual being here, at least some people would want to come and meet you. Other than that, there hasn't been much that could be noticed directly currently. What would you all like to do? Starting with, I'm going to start with Med Marker, just so we have a bit of order here.
I'm gonna try to look around and find the guys who look like they do manual labor or are like bodyguards, so the tougher kind of looking guys.
All right, tougher individuals.
Yeah.
Roll me an awareness check plus 30, or perception if you don't have awareness.
You said plus 30?
Plus 30. So down in one of the corners, talking with another individual who's of a much higher status than he, you see a bald man with some tattoos who's wearing a bit of leathers and body armor over himself. He still has his weapons, surprisingly, and he's carrying them openly. But other than that, you can't gather anything until you get closer.
I'm going to try to move closer.
All right, you move closer. What would you like to do?
Am I able to tell if their conversation is about to end or not?
Inquiry intelligence for the... Actually, logic, if you have it. Logic plus 30.
I do not, so that's going to be logic plus 30 minus 20.
So overall plus 10. Well, overall plus 10 still add the 30 because it does automatically.
What was that last part?
Logic plus 30, that's all.
So I don't subtract the minus 20?
Nope.
It automatically does.
You can't tell. From what you can see, it could just as easily have just started up as it could be near the end.
Alright, I'm gonna loiter around a wall and wait for the conversation to end, I guess.
Alright. Let's move off that for now then. It'll take like roughly 30 minutes. Keith, what are you gonna do?
Dutch smart.
Let's see here. Obviously, there's a nightclub, there's female dancers. I'm assuming some of them get off on break.
Some of them do get off on break, yes. At least as far as you can tell, some of them haven't even gotten down yet.
Oh.
In your entire time there.
I keep forgetting that my fellowship's 20, so I can't really do a whole lot with dialogue, at least like that, as far as dice rolls go.
As far as dice rolls, though, but you can still try to talk yourself.
Alright.
I will
See if I
say
can
that I do, and I know Hatuni does as well, reward good roleplay.
Only problem is I'm not sure how good I've been doing so far. But anyway, yeah, let's give that a shot.
Just doing it is better than nothing.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah. Whichever one seems most open to a conversation with a guy that looks like he hasn't shaved in a while.
All right. Roll me a... What would this fucking be, actually? I'm trying to find myself what that'd be. Let's go inquiry intelligence And this wouldn't be an easy thing to get off of this because, you know, you're just trying to go off of looks.
Right. So no bonuses though?
No
modifiers?
bonuses. Flat.
Okay. Yeah, I see nothing.
No,
Remember,
you
guys
don't
do have
notice.
a-
True.
Yeah, but the thing is though,
That's a 10% chance.
exactly,
True.
it's very low.
But another 10% chance.
But anyway,
In lower
You
chance.
get it 10% of the time.
just from looks, you can't quite tell what exactly they think of you. However, I'll because you're not really doing anything else, I'll still let you try to do anything else if you want to. Actually, I'm going to do something very quickly.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, nothing happens with that. But you still got something you can do. If you wanted to do anything else.
Got a different idea. Keith kind of flags down the bartender real fast.
Oh yeah, what can I do you for, sir?
I
He
got
says as he walks up and sits down everything.
Got a quick question for you. First off, good Amasec though. Thank you for that. But some of the ladies that go dancing around, any of them single?
Oh, you asking for the ladies? I'm afraid they're out of your league, son.
Perhaps, but wouldn't hurt to just talk. I mean, heck, if nothing else, I need to.
What are you trying to talk with them about?
Them? Anything? Not sure how it concerns you exactly. Yep.
Oh, what? You're trying to get at the ladies here, yeah? Oh, bugger off! You can't do that.
Fair enough. Alright, thought I'd ask at the very least, see if you had any ideas, considering, you work here, they work here. Figure there might be some kind of dialogue between you and them.
No, hands stay off the merchandise. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. Alright.
At least that's what the boss says.
Ah, gotcha. I'm asking who the boss is around here. In case I need a little extra work on the side.
Well, I don't know if he wants people really knowing exactly who he is. Nobles can be like that sometimes. Don't want to be known that they're holding on to such establishments as this, seedy as they are. Is there something I can do for you, sir?
Unless you can give me an idea on how to initiate contact, whether it's through intermediaries, such as like a guy like you or someone else. No.
Roll for me. I'm going to say a charm test plus 20 to see if we can get that through, because he's not really seeing a lot of. No.
Yeah, it's okay.
Kind of expected.
Yeah.
I'm afraid
Plus 20 or minus 20?
You couldn't be important enough for him anyway.
Do have faith.
It wouldn't surprise me, honestly, but thank you for your input. Yeah.
If there's anything else you need or want to talk about, a little bit more down to earth, I should say.
That's fair.
Less lofty.
I'll keep that in mind, sir. Thank you much.
Oh, so Frank's been looking around for tough guys, because Frank, he's strong, he's got bulging biceps. Is there a place to brawl around here for cash? Thrones.
Well, I want you to roll for me, because this is how you're looking for it. Inquiry perception plus 40.
Okay, one sec.
Afraid you're not finding a fight club this time around unless you want to re-roll that.
Can I fate?
You can fate if you want to.
Fight club, fight club, fight club.
Number one rule of Fight Club: you don't talk about Fight Club.
Still can't.
That's so close.
I mean, you can hear whispers of one, but you can't of a little bit more of an underground fighting pit. But you could never figure out where it was. People were rather vague about it.
But I heard whispers, right?
You heard whispers of it, but you couldn't gather where it was.
But do I know the people who were whispering it?
I mean,
you know what?
You could try to go to them.
Give me 1 second here. I can resurrect a system that I developed in my last Dark Heresy campaign. If you guys want to do this,
what is it?
I call it a karma system. If you guys are usually within striking distance of a success, I can allow you to basically add on to a possible karma. And this is a tool that I use as a GM, where if you accumulate too much bad karma or good karma, it's all up to a dice roll, depending upon every single time that you want to possibly roll the dice against a bad thing happening in the future that you have no idea about happening. You can allow a success to go through if it is close enough to being a success. It's basically you're giving me the permission that possibly something in the future could go wrong.
So like corruption and the Warhammer for fantasy.
It's like corruption, but it's basically a specific tool for me. So let's say I want to be rule of cool and I want something really cool to happen. Like let's say Jackal was about to get another double headshot, and I roll that dice and I add however many times that you have allowed a very close failure to go ahead and be a success. Now your double headshot ends up harming one of your buddies. If you guys want, I can resurrect this system, or we can just continue to let it roll as it is.
Cal says yes.
I myself feel like it might drag things down slightly, but up to everyone else.
Yeah.
I say take what we got right now.
Okay.
I could later review it and see if it might be applicable, but
it'll be fine.
Oh, nothing bad could possibly ever happen. Or it might just be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. I mean, it's fine not using it. Shut up. Please don't kill me.
Alright guys, out of character. I have to prep to leave right now.
Oh, that's alright.
Yeah, so I'm out for the night. Have fun the rest of you and have a good night.
Alright, have a good one, man.
Good night.
Good night.
If you guys want, we
User
can wrap up
disconnected
this
from your channel.
And put a pause on it if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd say we finish up with the nightclub and then end it.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So Frank wants to go find a little bit of a fight club. He heard some people whispering about it, but couldn't gather where it was from them. Does he want to go and try to gather?
Frank was gonna go talk to those people.
Okay. So you see a somewhat, for lack of a better term, posh-looking young man, and what you can only gather to be his woman of interest. sitting at a table and talking about. They're essentially talking about some fights they've seen.
Okay. Gonna walk up to the table, put both my fists on the table, and I'm gonna, as intimidatingly as I can, look at the guy and say, "I heard you seen some fights."
Where's Rachel?
Motherfucker.
Sorry, who are you?
A guy that knows how to get his hands dirty, especially to make a few thrones.
I have and he points over to the girl near him.
Okay. Don't mean to ruin your mojo. Just wondering, where do you see these fights?
The fights?
Yes.
Why do you want to know?
Well, maybe you want some new entertainment.
Muscles are yours.
I mean, you see this fist, and you see this fist. I've cracked thousands of skulls between them, and I want to add to that list.
First of all, you've got problems.
Thank
Second
you.
of all, do you work for the Orbitas?
The what?
The Arbites, the Orbitas, the
Do I look like a what? I'm just here looking for a fight. So I can make some thrones, to pay for my AMSAC, to drink, to then fight more. That's all I'm asking.
Well,
Please.
tell you what. How about I strike a deal with you? I tell you where, but you fight for me.
What would that imply?
Well, you get some of the winnings if you, win, but if you lose, may have to crack a few shins.
As in, you crack my shins? Because you don't look like the type to crack my shins. I'd assume I'd crack my own shins then.
I mean, if that works for you.
If it'll get me a fight.
Okay. Do we have a deal?
I think we have a deal.
All right. It's down through the back, through small alley, and then there is a door behind a dumpster. Head down through there, and we'll talk in a bit. That might put you out for some of the encounter. Just
That's fine.
as a word of warning. You can do other stuff in the meanwhile, unless you want to go do that immediately.
But what's your name?
Oh, my name? Well,
Hold on. I got
first of all,
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I want to ask yours. Just so I know who's going to be my little puppet here.
Just call me Fighting Frank.
Oh, Fighting Frank. Achilles, do you have one? Ah. Name's Colmer Ertelt. And he reaches his hand out for you.
I'll just call you boss. And I'd shake his hand.
Good. Well, you don't have to head there immediately anyway. The fights go on for a very long time.
Alright. When I see you leave, I'll accompany. And Frank would back off.
Alright.
Frank's then gonna walk up to Keith and go, Keith, I gotta fight. I'm gonna fight somebody. I wanna get some money and then get some AMSEC. And then, oh yeah, we were supposed to be doing stuff on this place, right?
I get the distinct impression that you're not, whoever you're fighting with or for wouldn't appreciate you blabbing about it, Keith. Relax.
Well, he's all the way over there, and I'm all the way up here. But
He's
regardless,
staring directly at you.
Shit.
Look, we're supposed to be just keeping an ear to the ground, looking around.
Well,
Frankly, I
isn't
think
that
this
kind of conspicuous if you put your ear to the ground and look around? I think everyone would kind of stare at you at that point.
figure of speech. But what I'm saying is, if you hear anything suspicious while you're in there, gonna try and remember it for later. Let us know about it, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, is that servitor making weird noises for you too?
It just does that. Don't worry too much about it. Those things always make a weird noise for their motors or whatever the heck makes them float like that.
Magic. Faith in the Emperor.
Because it sounds like the Emperor is face palming over my actions, if you'd be completely honest.
Something tells me he face palms over the actions of a lot of people more important than us.
What, like some people trying to get laid?
Want a drink for? Point taken. Point taken.
That's what I thought.
Anyway, if you need a drink as a heads up, I can put you for one, but that's about it.
Yeah, just swap me for one. I'll pay for the next after I get beaten to a bloody pulp.
Oh, come on. Look at you. You'll handle him. Look, you're a killer. Trained killer. Mean, lean, fighting machine.
Honestly, though, I think we need a Medicae or whatever the heck. Did you notice one in the squad?
Yeah, we do. Anyway, Keith flags down the bartender again. This time with the same throne count in his hand. Toonie?
Sorry, I fucking blanked for a moment.
Okay.
I will not lie. Tell me again what you were doing.
They're buying another drink.
Yeah.
Oh, bartender comes over.
Oh fuck! I could have just GM. Damn it! I'm an idiot. What time is it?
Yeah, the RP is kind of nice.
It's 11 EST.
Okay, I got that, Hituni. If you want to build the other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you want to build up to it. Hi, mates. What can I get you?
You remember my last drink? Admittedly, it's a normal glass of Amasec, but get one for this guy.
Normal Amasec coming right up. The bartender turns around, grabs a bottle, a nice amber-looking liquid in it, and he twirls it around in his hand as he pulls out 2 glasses, pours 2. Yeah, it'd be about we'll call it 30 throne gelt for the total.
Fair enough. Thank you much for the extra drink.
Thank you for your patronage. Enjoy, boys.
There you go, Frank.
Do you ever wonder what the soldiers of Cadia thought just before the planet fell? The sheer thrill of being alive to hold the line. Why am I speaking like this? I haven't even started drinking yet. God damn it, it's all the fucking noise. Ugh.
Mention of Cadia, Keith just kind of gets quiet, just starts drinking on his own.
Oh, I didn't mean to scare you. Come on.
If he were to look into Keith's eyes, it wouldn't be fear, just basically what some people from another time might call the 1,000-yard stare.
You know we're in a bar, right? We're not actually in a trench line. You can stop looking awkward now. It's okay.
Sorry about that.
I promise it's okay. It's okay. All right?
Yep.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Do you need a nappy nap?
Get up and drink your Amasec, meathead.
Where the fuck is everyone else?
I think that's the guy with his cat over there trying to talk to people. I think I saw you over there too. There's our rattling friend over there. That's John. Not sure where Mad Marker is. Oh, night tech.
All right, night, guys. I gotta go.
See ya.
User disconnected from your channel.
Anyway, out of character. If anyone wants to do something else now, time.
Now's the time.
Well, since John, knowing that he isn't going to really get any information here, decides to just go grab a drink and just entertain himself. Like maybe, but of course keep an ear out just in case something
Keep your
pops up.
pants on at the bar.
You do see Frank and Keith at the bar sharing not sharing a drink, but sharing
together,
sharing their company while drinking.
The
bartender is moving about.
Yeah, he would move to sit next to them.
Hope you got your own cash, John, because frankly, I am kind of low.
Wait, yes?
Don't worry. I'm gonna put it on our world famous friend over there. Gets to pay for it.
That works. Oh, dang it. I should have done that.
You see, the best drinks you can get are for free.
The bartender sees you having just walked up. And you, sir, what can I get you?
I have the same thing these two are having. You see my friend over there with the cat. Just put it on his tab. He's a friend of mine.
Roll me. Let me see. Is there like an equivalent bluff check?
There's a deceive check.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a deceive check.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Why you do this to me?
Because you literally are deceiving the bartender.
I'm not deceiving him. I'm telling the truth. He's a
I
friend.
mean, it is the truth.
It is the truth.
But how are you that close of a friend? That is the question.
You would bet together.
But tell you what,
there's no
give
bluff.
me a fellowship check.
Still not gonna be good, but let's go for it. Better than the 10. Alright, just pure base.
Just
pure fellowship.
Just pure fellowship.
Yeah. I can use one fate there because
you can add. I'll allow you to add a plus 10 to that. You wouldn't have made it in the first place, but I'll give you a plus 10 because you are kind of a friend of him, and he did see you walk in together.
I was the last one in, if you recall.
Yeah, but you're part of the same group.
Alright, fate. And that's good.
Aww.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a good thing I keep 100 thrones.
Yeah.
Better.
Well, unless he comes over here and tells you can put it on his tab, I'm gonna need you to pay.
Right. He just grabbed. How much does it cost?
Normal Aerosec. Let's call it 15 throne gilt.
Yeah, he takes out 15 thrones to set it on the table.
He slides the money into his hand and pockets it and whips out another bottle of amberish liquid and pours it out and pours it into a glass. Slides the glass over to you. There you go. Enjoy.
Thank you, good sir.
Anytime.
15. That. I didn't find much.
Right.
I'm just gonna relax for the time, I guess. Tomorrow, start a new day, get back to it.
You bought a drink and now you're going to go into the next day?
No. He's just talking about he's talking about how he knows he's not gonna really find anything, so he's just gonna relax while he's still here, and then resume searching tomorrow.
Okay.
When they go, yeah.
Okay.
Tells me we're not the ones meant to do the recon, at least not in this kind of setting.
Buddy, I run the big guns.
The commissar is here.
Me and Frank over here run big guns. Do you
That's
really
true.
think
That's
we can
true,
talk
too.
our way through things?
Mm.
You're
Hatsune.
talking to.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go on.
Oh no, I was. Yeah, go ahead, guys.
I was still building up a pit fighter for Leroy to go up against.
I gotcha.
They could be up here soon.
The strange thing
Remind me.
is that one of you here actually has a pretty substantial piece of evidence.
Yes, and he's not really sharing.
Because this isn't exactly a setting to share things like this.
True. That is true. We can at least use the servitor to keep an eye.
True.
About the pit fighter or the guy that Breezy met?
The breezy guy that Breezy met.
Oh, at least I know about him.
I have the thing following him, guys.
And also, trying to figure out who this guy is.
Anyway,
So we can visit it in his home.
It's if we're just gonna relax for the time.
Take information.
All right, no problem.
suffice
By the
to
way-
say, hired guns like us don't exactly. We're not exactly known for talking our way through problems.
Yeah. By the way, Achilles,
Yes,
could you remind me if this was mid, hot, upper, or lower hive?
all of you are definitely in the upper hive, even though this bar kind of straddles the edge between between both of them. Between upper and middle and mid hive, you reside very much in the upper hive.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. Believe me, I'll start describing a very different scene whenever you guys head to the mid hive. It's very different.
Has the bodyguard and his employer finished their conversation?
Yes, they actually have. And it's leaving the bodyguard guy to essentially just drink, as he doesn't seem to have anyone else he's talking to.
I'm gonna walk over, greet him, and say, "Hey."
Yeah. What you want? He says as he takes a sip of Avasec.
Yeah, notice you look kind of bored over here.
Yeah? What's it to you?
I was just curious, guys like us, if there's a better suited place for us to go when we're off, duty or shift.
Where do you think I am?
You're not working now?
No.
Oh, you must be doing pretty well for yourself then.
It's good work I do. Pays well. Not that they're in any danger, really.
Man, that's good and bad. It can be a bit boring, I suppose. Notice the guy out front let you keep your weapons. Is there a story about that?
Oh, him? He's a friend of mine. Besides, we used to work together over at a little mercenary firm not too far from here. It's been disbanded a little bit.
Just a little bit?
Yeah, we still keep in touch, but don't really work together anymore.
Okay. I'll get out of your hair then. Have a good day.
Who are you?
I'm Marcus.
Marcus. Well, thanks for the little talk. He awkwardly takes another drink before settling in.
Yeah, sure, no problem, man. I'll say that and walk away.
All right, he gets to drinking.
I actually think that Marcus is Mad Marker's first name.
Rip, never mind. Alright, just throw it out for a second.
Am I right about that, Mad Marker?
More or less, but it doesn't really matter if they don't use it.
Alright, looks like everyone came.
I'm gonna try and get a little extra second where people aren't following me.
It's like to like the bouncer. That's it. I've been quiet ever since.
And I'm going to just use the comm bead to covertly tell everybody that something weird's going on and tell them about the guy and what he said.
I'm hopping off. You guys have a good one.
Have a good one, Jackal. We should probably start.
User disconnected from your channel.
Yeah.
So,
you guys
I'll
don't
let you go ahead and find a pause to the scene.
Wait, who's the guy and what he said?
The one I have the, what's it called, following?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So, as the night goes on, and you guys continue your, as I understood, you guys just started to relax as opposed to continuing investigation, and it essentially pulls to a close
wake
as
up.
Most of the people in the building started to file out one after another over time went on. The bar became more and more vacant. None of the dancers were up and at 'em anymore. And it was only until a scant few people were left inside of the building as the call for closing the club for the night has gone through. You guys are kind of ushered out from the building as they start cleaning up and preparing for tomorrow. With what information you have.
Hey, wake up.
Alright, guess we'll just head back home and compare notes and everything.
By the way, Breezy. Do you want the skull to come back, or do you want it to figure out where the guy lives?
I just haven't fallen on the Euro control room then.
Well, I'm asking you now. If through the combi.
Find out where he lives.
Okay.
Alright, so, as you guys begin to kind of wind down for the night and decide,
well, Frank's going down the door.
Oh, that's right. You're going out to the fight club.
We may have to save that for next session.
Yeah,
it's fine.
So Frank is going. Frank, you all basically notice eventually that Frank is kind of just disappeared, wandered off, no idea. The rest of you, having kind of a warm fuzzy from alcohol and general relaxing that you really don't get all that much, except for maybe Kaladin. Begin to kind of make your way back to the safe house. Upon that, you find a second Space Marine. This one in a not resplendent white armor, crimson pauldron, and it is covered in what can only be assumed is dry blood and other bodily fluids. I'll let you go ahead and interact from that point.
Hi?
Hello there.
Oh, right. I quickly walk over. I did not mention, but Guardsman, it seems that we have another one of my brothers accompanying us on this mission. This is our apothecary Varkin, if you would like to introduce yourself.
It is good to meet you, Guardsman. I'm here because I heard you lack the aid of what talented Medicaid feel.
Yeah, it's just we weren't expecting to get a Space Marine version. Keith says as he dubiously eyes the rather large drill bit on the Marine's arm.
Yes, although you can never really expect what happens in war.
Baron is going to do a little bit of a whimper because the person needs to dial back the voice modulator a little bit.
Copy. I won't use it then if it's too much.
Just for those of you humans may wish to remind the apothecary not to use anesthesium on you if he ever does perform a medical procedure.
It is fine, Chaplain. This has only happened once, and you know that.
And that once is a mistake I would not like repeated, apothecary.
It is fine. The Tech Marines paid him back with a fancy new arm.
Yes. Well, I'll leave you to that. I'm going to continue monitoring the service call. If I hear any screaming, it shall be upon your shoulders.
I understand, Chaplain. I made sure to not bring those chemicals with me again. I assure you, no more accidents shall happen.
Right.
Do you still have blood all over you?
He is,
yeah,
he is
always
covered
has
in
blood all
dry,
over
what
him.
right now is dried blood.
Yeah, so...
Baron would probably be trying to lick that shit off you.
So
you may not want the cat to
So...
interact.
Yeah, not just is it dried blood, it is probably a lot of other chemicals, not just from bodily fluids, but standard ones you'd see in an arthesium, probably liquids to keep bodies fresh, other drugs and chemicals, all like dried heavily into the blood to where it's just a stain you can't get rid of.
So Baron would probably get one lick and then fucking never touch you again.
Yep. Well, he might be interested in the Cyber Raven I currently have on my shoulder, if you want to do that, Breezy.
I don't think, unless it was an actual bird.
It's an actual bird with like cybernetic parts.
Is it meat?
I'd say 50%.
50% meat. 50%.
After the licking of you, I doubt it. I'd be very.
It's
very,
like I'm staying far away from anything this man touches.
What a cute animal you have. I have not seen one like it. If it ever concerns you, do tell me. I would love to treat it.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
All right.
Well, I am sure you are all tired, and my sensors are detecting quite a few, alcoholic content within you. I recommend you get a good night's sleep, and you sober up for the morning.
The apothecary is right. We have someone to interrogate the following morning.
Okay, firstly, all I had was 2. Thirdly, yes.
Remind me, where is your guardsman known as Frank?
Dadgummit.
Have you lost one already, Chaplain?
That wasn't him. Frank has a habit of getting into apparently he has a habit of getting into weird situations. Apparently he's gotten himself into a fight club.
Ah, it's always good to let your anger go time to time. It's just good for the health.
Whatever it is, it's the sergeant's problem. I should be working on my own stuff.
okay.
I guess we'll see what happens to Frank in the morning.
Very well.
We'll see if he returns with shins intact.
Those of you who require sleep, begin to head off to your individual rooms, identifying them by the clothes that have seemed to be strewn about from people searching through said rooms. And each one of you drifts off to sleep. Meanwhile, Frank, is happily making his way to a door beyond a dumpster. It's rather...
This can only end well.
Yeah. To which he opens the door and sees something that we'll talk about next week.
Yay.
Cliffhangers.
Cliffhangers,
Oh, boy.
yay!
Yeah.
Could be worse. Oh my god. Well, after stream.
In any case, thank you everybody for sticking around for a little while. I wanted to try to at least get to a good cliffhanger point. I know this ran a little bit about 45 minutes longer than I was really expecting.
Oh yeah.
But I'm glad we were able to get to this point. Thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you players and GMs for all your hard work that you put into this. It means a great deal to me to be able to rely upon other people as well as players to help build a story along. We'll see you all next week, roughly around the same time. Thank you, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye, Street.
See-
Bye, Street.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a good night.
Have a good night,
Carlos,
y'all.
nerd.
Look at the
Right.
day.
I've been saying this